Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning. It's 5:02 on your Tuesday. I'm Manda Factor, and here's what's happening. Tukwila City Council voted last night to ban camping on city property, making it a misdemeanor with up to 90 days in jail and a $1,000 fine. Washington is now battling 10 large wildfires. The biggest is the Kaiser Canyon fire in Okanogan County. It's burned nearly 63,000 acres, 0% containment. More than 1,000 people are displaced. Heat advisory kicks in at 10 o'clock this morning for the greater Seattle area. National Weather Service says stay hydrated, avoid outdoor activity in the afternoon, and check on vulnerable neighbors. Highs expected into the 90s. A Bellevue climber was killed by rockfall on Mount Rainier over the weekend. 44-year-old Dai Hong Chen died on the Disappointment Cleaver route at about 11,600 feet. And the Mariners back in first in the AL West after blanking Cincinnati 8-0 last night. Cal Raleigh capped it with a grand slam in the 7th. It's 5:03. Yes, he is back, Sully. Time for traffic.
I don't know. That's a grand slam. That's pretty nice.
It is nice.
Like, let's just string a few of those together.
Well, yeah, he had
so
snapped
have to
a
start
little
somewhere.
Yeah.
Good. That's really good news.
What's happening?
Well, right now it's kind of like a Cal grand slam. The bases are empty now.
Nice.
We're looking really good. 35 minutes is all you're going to need between most of our destinations, even less than that, really. Olympia to Tacoma is only a half an hour, and Pierce County is quiet. Federal Way to Seattle's got that 35-minute trip for you. Same 35 up the Valley Freeway from Puyallup to Renton. Don't even have any slowing down the South Hill yet. Trying to get down there. Looking at Renton to Bellevue, not bad. 15 minutes there. The lake bridges are quiet and nothing out of Snohomish County as we start this day. Got about a 35-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime.
Seattle's Morning News, wherever you are.
It's now 5:04 on this morning's edition of Start Here. ABC's Peter Haralambous breaks down the case against a Paramount-Warner Brothers merger.
You've probably heard about this big proposed merger between Paramount and Warner Brothers Discovery. Remember, last year it actually appeared that Netflix was going to buy Warner Brothers and its huge catalog of movies and channels like HBO. And some in the film industry freaked out, wondering if a streamer, Netflix, was going to take over a studio this large and whether that could be the end of, say, theatrical releases as we know them. Well, then in came Paramount, another legacy movie studio, another company with a ton of streaming assets at its disposal. In fact, under this hostile takeover bid, brands like CBS, CNN, HBO, and TNT would all be under one roof. Fuck the merger. To which some people said, wait, we just went from a Hollywood problem to an everyone problem. How is this not a monopoly?
I'm here to announce a lawsuit that I've filed and that a coalition of 12 states have filed, challenging the proposed merger.
Some of the people claiming that were state attorneys general.
When fewer films are available, theaters may be forced to raise ticket prices to remain viable, and Arizona consumers bear those costs.
Well, yesterday, for the first time since this deal was green-lit, a judge tapped the brakes. ABC's Peter Haralambous has been keeping track of all this for us. Peter, first off, will you refresh me on this deal? Like, why should Americans care about it? And then why are there legal questions about it?
Yeah, Brad, if this deal goes through, not only would it be one of the largest media companies in the United States, but according to the attorneys general who brought this lawsuit to challenge it, it would really be a loss for consumers. They argue by combining two of the big five legacy studios, you're just going to have too much media under one roof.
The largest merger in Hollywood history would extinguish competition.
We're talking about Paramount, which of course has Paramount Plus, CBS, and of course the studio, and Warner Brothers Discovery with Discovery Plus, HBO Max, all of this under the same corporate ownership, and create a position where between basic cable, streaming, and traditional movies, consumers are going to be put in a position where they could increase prices and kind of benefit from the lack of the overall competition in the marketplace.
Movies and TV shows are not run-of-the-mill commodities. The film and entertainment industry doesn't exist just to buy and to sell them.
They filed this lawsuit last week, and they argued a judge has to move quickly on this because it's possible that this deal closes any day now. They even warned in filings that this deal could close as soon as Wednesday.
Well, and the reason it could close so soon is because this did have to go through U.S. regulatory approval already, right? Like the federal government said this is fine.
And yeah, Brad, the Department of Justice signed off on this merger back in June. The Department of Justice ultimately saying they didn't think this deal was going to harm competition. But a lot of people raised doubts about that claim, that this idea that this $111 billion mega deal would be good for competition in any way.
This is going to definitely reduce the number of films made. No matter what they say, they're going to reduce the number of films.
People have also pointed to the somewhat cozy relationship, the ownership of Paramount has with the Trump administration, and alleged that that relationship in part helped them get that green light from the Department of Justice.
Oh, like that's one of the concerns is if the leadership of one of these companies needs regulatory approval, but he's also like, hey, I'm kind of friendly with President Trump, then if he gets that regulatory approval and he's got TV news stations at his disposal, will he gear them to be more favorable to Trump in their coverage or something?
Yeah, so it's kind of a potentially sweet deal for both sides here, where the owners of Paramount, the Ellisons, are able to get a green light from the Department of Justice, a Department of Justice which under a Democratic administration might have been much more skeptical to this deal. And also the White House potentially has one of these big media companies that looks upon them perhaps more favorably.
We live at a time where the more media consolidation we have, the less choices we have, the less choices the viewer has.
Especially a company that when you look at their media ownings would have control over both CBS and CNN, two of the country's largest news organizations.
At a time when Trump and the Trump administration are actively dividing and separating us, this is just another way.
How does Paramount respond to that?
Yeah, Paramount categorically denies the idea of any kind of political involvement, any kind of sweetheart deal here. And when it comes to the actual lawsuit, it's worth noting that the heart of this case, it's really a basic antitrust case, separate from the political concerns. Mm-hmm. The argument is more just the traditional antitrust claim here, that by combining Paramount and Warner, you basically create a company that controls a third of basic cable programming and a third of theatrical film production, a company that is so large that it could theoretically raise the prices for consumers, harm their employees by lowering their wages, and overall reduce the quality of the product that goes out there to consumers. Paramount, in a press release when this lawsuit was first filed, says that the attorneys general here have a basic misunderstanding and distort antitrust law. And their argument, in a way, is that at this point, media is just controlled by giant companies. And to the extent that anyone is concerned about competition, there are already these companies that are kind of big streamers that are pretty dominant. Think of Netflix, think of Disney, which of course is ABC's.
I was about to say Disney Plus, our parent company.
Yeah, and the argument basically here is if you want competition, you need to have companies that are big enough to compete in that space where you're going up against the Netflix, against the Disney Plus. And by merging these two companies, yes, theoretically there are less companies in the game, but you're creating an entity that has enough might to go up against these big companies. So that's their overall argument here. They're saying that ultimately this benefits competition in a way because you have another competitor to the really big media companies.
So then what did the judge rule yesterday? Because now this deal's on hold all of a sudden. Why?
So in this ruling yesterday, the judge ultimately agreed with a lot of these concerns from the attorneys general. This is a federal judge out of California concluding that there's compelling evidence here that this combined company will have substantial market share. We're talking about, according to the judge, about 27% market share for the theatrical distribution market. And if that goes through, if they have that massive combined market share, the judge concluded it's, quote, likely to violate antitrust laws. The judge also concluded that the states who sued made a strong case that this transaction would lessen competition and ultimately agreed to grant this temporary restraining order to give the court a bit more time to figure this out. The states who brought this case argued the courts had to move quickly because of the possibility this deal closes as soon as July 22nd. So this judge basically put everything on hold for now while they hear arguments over the coming weeks.
David Ellison may think this is an offer we can't refuse. But I'm here to say he's wrong.
For now, there's an August 3rd date for a hearing on a preliminary injunction. We expect to see more opposition from Paramount in court filings. And of course, that's when a judge is more likely to reach kind of a longer-term decision than this just temporary ruling.
Right, and even beyond the TV and the streaming and the movies of it all, I also just find it interesting that in a lot of Democrat-controlled states, The strategy clearly seems to be, hey, we don't trust the Trump White House to regulate certain industries, so we're just going to start getting together and filing lawsuits, hoping that they cross the desk of a judge. A federal judge can litigate this if they don't think the White House will. Peter Haralambos, fascinating story. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Brad.
You ever hear the classic story of Cyrano de Bergerac?
I spoke the words that won her. She kisses my words upon his lips.
It's the story of a man who's got away with words. He's great at talking to women, but there's a problem. He also has a deformed nose, which stops girls in their tracks. For a while, he's reduced to whispering his poetry into his friend's ear, helping him woo his beloved.
To strangle those two serpents, doubt and pride.
Why, very good. Only tell me why you speak so haltingly.
Even if you don't know this 1950s film, you've almost undoubtedly seen this plotline before. It's been adapted into countless movies, like Roxanne with Steve Martin, coaching his friend through a faulty radio.
Because there is a heart here that wants yours to know that there's a possible 502 on Main. Proceed to Main.
What?
To sitcoms like Boy Meets World, in which the guys hide out in a trash can to speed along a friend's courtship.
This is hard for me to say. This is hard for me today.
But just for a moment, let's forget about poor Cyrano. Let's think about this from the point of view of his doofus pal. Because when you think about it, it stinks to be him too. He's got the whole package. The girls want to like him. He just doesn't know what to say. Welcome to the central plot point on countless dating sites. Yesterday, Bloomberg reported that more and more people looking for love online are increasingly convinced they're talking not to regular suitors, but chatbots, virtual Cyranos. A woman described getting suspicious when a man always seemed to respond with a twee metaphor. No one talks like that. Other respondents seemed able to constantly sprinkle in references to things she had written in her bio as if they had been uploaded into ChatGPT and quickly incorporated into responses. This would be called chatfishing, like catfishing, but just for the chatty part of the dating process. From the point of view of the chat fisher, there might not be any ill intent. Perhaps you just don't feel comfortable over messaging. Maybe you've been rejected in the past because you're a little verbally clumsy. Users ask friends for advice all the time. Why not a chatbot? The problem for the woo-ee, of course, is obvious. You want to know who you're talking to. Like, what are their actual thoughts and feelings? How do you know this isn't some creep with a bot farm instantaneously firing off chats to dozens of people per hour? Dating site companies like Match and Tinder and Bumble say they are constantly screening for fake profiles and scammy users, but scanning text for whether it's AI generated is a bit trickier. And where do you draw the line? Are people allowed to proofread? It's especially complicated because these sites are using AI more and more themselves. With the advent of large language models, dating sites can now do more than just link people up by a few keywords and interests. They can put entire profiles through an engine and promise you a curated match that will more likely spark something on a deeper level. Several charge for this premium service. Virtually all of these sites say their chief concern is keeping people at the center of the process. That's what we're attracted to at the end of the day, people. But in an age where words matter more than ever, and when computers can not only screen the words, but even write the words, it's tough to sniff out the virtually enhanced love letter, no matter how good your nose may be.
That's ABC's Brad Milkey. It's 5:15. Here comes the heat and more haze today. We're headed for a high of 90 today. For tomorrow, 93. Again, it'll be hazy because of all the wildfires. And then Thursday, quite a change. A few showers a possibility, maybe thunderstorms again. And 79 Friday. Looks nice. Clouds in the morning, sunshine in the afternoon, and 78. So far, the weekend looks great with highs only in the mid-70s. Right now in Seattle, partly cloudy at 66 degrees. And coming up, a look at what's next for UK's new Prime Minister. That's ahead on part 2 of ABC's Start Here program next on Seattle's Morning News.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio Northwest News.
This hour of Seattle's Morning News is brought to you by Closets by Design Seattle.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear the John Curley Show, 3 to 7.
If 20 people were asked to choose toppings for a pizza, and the majority were not asked to pay for any of the toppings, they would probably choose, the majority would, the most delicious and therefore the most expensive. Government should list the price of the toppings and everybody should pay something. We are ruled by the ignorant, elected by the ignorant, and that is the case.
Watch live or later on the John Curley Show's YouTube channel.
You know, I used to think all money managers were the same until I spoke with Fisher Investments.
Really? How different are they?
Fisher's investment counselors are dedicated to service, not sales, keeping clients up to date on their portfolio.
Well, they probably just invest in a bunch of mutual funds like I do.
Nope. They build a tailored portfolio based on their clients' personal goals, helping them stay on track for a comfortable retirement.
Well, they must make commissions selling products.
Actually, Fisher doesn't sell any commission-based products. They're a fiduciary, and they believe that's a conflict.
Then they have some kind of complex fee structure.
Nope. Fisher has a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of their client's portfolio. So they do better when their clients do better.
It sounds like Fisher really is different.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Fisher Investments, clearly different wealth management. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Summertime means sunshine, baseball games, beach trips, hiking, and more. So don't let your bank stop you from having fun. Free checking at WaFd Bank is the way to go. There are no minimum balances or monthly maintenance fees to worry about. Plus, you'll get spending tools and the latest technology to help you stay on budget. Not only is WaFd Bank rated a best bank, we have more than 200 branches to serve you across 9 western states, so you have access wherever you are. Visit wafdbank.com to open your account. Additional fees may apply. Member FDIC.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now, or call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Good morning. Glad to have you with us. It's now 5:20 on your Tuesday morning. Back to ABC's Start Here program now. Guy Davies describes day one for the new UK Prime Minister, Andy Burnham. Here's ABC's Brad Milkey.
Well, it's official. The United Kingdom has a new prime minister. Now, if you feel like you've heard me say that before, that means you've been listening to this show for a while, because I have basically had to say that, like clockwork, every couple years. For all the stability projected by Britain, this quick leadership turnover has kind of become the new normal. So who's the new guy? Well, let's bring in our own guy to talk about it. ABC's Guy Davies is based in London. What was it like to be in London yesterday as Andy Burnham became the new leader?
Well, we got a new Prime Minister, and it's not the first time, as you just alluded to, in the last few years. This is now King Charles's fourth Prime Minister.
My work is done.
Keir Starmer officially resigned on Friday. He then tendered that to the King yesterday morning.
So, as I now pass the baton to Andy Burnham, I wish him every success. He has my full support.
Keir Starmer was personally unpopular. There were some election results, local elections, in which the governing Labour Party, performed very poorly. So the writing was kind of on the wall.
I have accepted His Majesty the King's invitation to form a government.
It's turned out to be a bit of a coronation for Andy Burnham. He's a deeply popular figure in Manchester, where he's been mayor, and it was essentially a given that he was going to be the new Prime Minister yesterday, because all of these lawmakers in the Labour Party have said that they want Andy Burnham to be their next Prime Minister. Normally there's a kind of internal leadership contest. That didn't happen this time round. That's how popular he is internally. They see him as someone who's going to turn their fortunes around.
Let us make this the moment when Britain starts to believe again. The moment we bring back hope. Thank you very much, everybody.
What should we know about Andy Burnham? And is there anything different that sets him apart from Keir Starmer? Like, is there anything substantive there?
Well, he's seen as a kind of antidote to Keir Starmer, who was seen as stuffy, even boring.
I know people at home are fed up with politics. I hear you. And I want to be honest with you. We have not been good enough.
He's withdrawn from the front line of British politics, which I think is why they've chosen him, because he hasn't been burdened with some of the scandals, some of the problems. There's a cost of living crisis here in the UK. There's not a lot of trust in the government. He's seen as an outsider, despite being a familiar face.
It requires my generation of politicians to raise our game.
He's kind of left-wing. He's probably more to the left than Starmer, but we didn't actually learn too much about the Prime Minister, what kind of government he's going to lead. But he did speak about rough sleeping, ending rough sleeping in the UK.
We will help people to live well, building a more preventative state, investing in people's success.
There's a homelessness crisis, particularly in London, in Manchester, where he was the mayor. I think that anyone you talk to has noticed an uptick. It was essentially the one policy takeaway.
I think there's quite a bit of still uncertainty.
The weirdest thing about him is that nobody really knows who he is.
I don't really know him very well, so I'll be interested to learn more about his policies and what he's got planned.
I think a lot of people in the country are actually rolling their eyes at the moment. And, what's the difference between Keir Starmer, Andy Burnham? Who knows, for a lot of people today.
And then what are the biggest challenges he's going to face then going forward? Like, because if it's just about not being Keir Starmer, I guess, check, great, he's done that. But what is he going to have to deal with now in these coming weeks and months?
There are enormous challenges. I mean, economic and security and this general sense of lack of trust in the main political parties, the Labour Party and the Conservative Party. You have waiting in the wings Nigel Farage. Listeners might know that name from Brexit. There's a lot of fears from these two main parties that reform, which Nigel Farage leads, will somehow accelerate through and break this two-party system.
That's why we will change politics, to make it more collaborative, more about problem solving than point scoring.
I think significantly on the international stage, Britain has major security concerns. You have the war in Ukraine, the shrinking size of the British army, with these threats from Russia, with the kind of global instability around the Iran war. That's going to be something to address quite quickly, and it's going to be seized on by the opposition.
I don't know anything. I see that he was, I guess, the mayor of a town. I hear he's extremely liberal. Extremely.
Any election on this side of the pond, how are you going to deal with the US president? We know that alliances are shifting, that President Trump's relationships are changing with Europe. President Trump himself said that he welcomed Burnham, that he congratulated him potentially for drilling into the North Sea oil supply. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But that's going to be a critical relationship. Keir Starmer was seen as someone who handled Trump well, particularly with regards to the Ukraine war. Whether Burnham can do the same, whether he can be a flatterer, whether he can stand up to Trump, those are going to be key things to assess his popularity and success as a prime minister. It's not just a domestic job. There are key issues on the international stage here, particularly with the US president.
Yeah, 7 prime ministers in a decade. So you know that Andy Burnham is hoping he lasts longer than some of these predecessors. Guy Davies there in London. Thank you.
Thanks, Brad.
That's ABC's Brad Milkey. It's 5:26, hazy and hot for today and tomorrow. Heat advisory takes effect at 10 o'clock this morning. 90 today, 93 tomorrow. We'll cool off to around 80 on Thursday. Right now in Seattle, we have partly cloudy skies. It's 66. You're listening to Seattle's Morning News.
A perfect game by a Seattle Mariner. It was done by the King.
50 seasons, 50 legends, one unforgettable night. Join the Mariners Saturday, August 8th for 50 season celebration night at T-Mobile Park, presented by Daktronics.
The Mariners are going to play for the American League Championship.
Before the team takes on the Rays, arrive early for the most epic pregame ceremony in Mariners history. You'll witness the biggest gathering of franchise icons ever assembled as the 50 greatest Mariners from across all 5 decades are revealed. From Griffey to the Big Unit, from Ichiro to Nelson Cruz, and every legend in between, you don't want to miss this once-in-a-lifetime event.
Junior with a 2-run home run. Everybody is going bonkers here in the Kingdom.
Seats are going fast. Get yours at mariners.com/tickets.
If you're over 62 and worried about how far your retirement savings will go, I'd like you to hear this. I'm Steve Teitler, owner of Best Mortgage. Every week I talk with seniors who love their home and want to stay, but feel financial pressure every month. Property taxes keep going up. Insurance costs more. Everyday bills add up, and for some, they still have a mortgage payment. If you're wondering how long your savings need to last, a reverse mortgage may be worth a look. It could eliminate your mortgage payment, pay off debts, and give you breathing room every month. Now, I want to make it clear it's not right for everyone, but for the right person, it can be a very smart financial tool. When you call Best Mortgage, you'll speak directly with me. I'll explain your options and tell you honestly if it makes sense for you. If you want to stay in your home with less financial stress, call me, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage. Honest advice you can trust. 425-649-6000.
Sometimes injuries can happen when you least expect them.
What broke my shoulder was reaching for my phone. I was trying to get the phone away from my cat.
That's how Heather tore her rotator cuff.
There was that hope. I was like, maybe this will heal on its own. And I waited a little bit, and it was not getting better.
She just couldn't take the pain anymore, so she saw Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
By the next day, my shoulder was already doing better. I have my arm back again, which was just wonderful.
Seems like she made the right choice.
I'm so glad I didn't do surgery.
So whether it's a hip like mine or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. He's the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
I said to him at our last appointment, I was like, you better not retire because I want to know if anything else goes wrong with my body. You're there to be able to fix it because he's a miracle worker.
So what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to top-rated Video Only.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Right now is a good time to try to save money, and one of the easiest ways to save, taking the First Mark Challenge. Mike and I took the First Mark Challenge a couple years ago, and we have saved thousands of dollars since then on our insurance. Here's how First Mark Insurance works for you. They compare rates and coverage from dozens of the top-rated carriers. Then they go to work to find you the right coverage at the lowest possible price for you and your family. And when you need them and pick up the phone, you'll talk to a real person who knows you and is there to help. That's the kind of world-class service that has kept us with First Mark Insurance year after year. So take the First Mark Challenge today. It costs you nothing. There's no obligation. And you'll find out just how much money you could be saving every single month. You could be the next First Mark Challenge victory. They've had over 11,000 of them, and I'm one of them. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com. What are you waiting for? No cost, no obligation. They simply show you whether they can find you lower premiums, better coverage, or both. Your savings start tomorrow. Firstmarkinsurance.com.
When you order a ride from a rideshare company, do you know what you're getting? Big rideshare companies have been caught failing to protect passengers from dangerous drivers and not supporting drivers and passengers after an accident, all to protect their profits. That's why if you've been injured in a rideshare vehicle, you need Davis Law Group to protect you. Their in-house team of investigators and legal staff has a successful track record of taking on rideshare companies, and they've won millions. Visit DavisLawGroupSeattle.com.
When the heat's an 11,
cool AC would be heaven.
DayandNight.net. Stay cool this summer with a new AC or heat pump from Day and Night. And with installation, you'll get a free furnace.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Call us about installing a high-efficiency cooling system or servicing your existing one so you're cool when you need it.
Get a new AC or heat pump now from Day and Night to stay cool this summer. Plus, with installation, you'll get a free furnace.
DayandNight.net.
It's the best time of the year at Staples, with back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech and more at staples.com/back-to-school.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, 5:33 now. Tukwila City Council has outlawed camping on city property in order to stop homeless encampments. Violators to face jail time and a $1,000 fine. The vote was 4-3. Well, with heat advisory going into effect at 10 o'clock for the greater Seattle area today, air quality could be an issue as winds push wildfire smoke into the region.
We're expecting smoke to move in. Most of the smoke's going to be higher up, so the skies are probably going to look hazy. We expect some of that smoke to get down to the ground, but at this point, I don't think it should be too bad. I think we should be in the moderate. Some places might get worse than that for a short bit.
Phil Swartzenjuber with Puget Sound Clean Air Agency says you might smell smoke, but it won't be on the dangerous level we've seen in other parts of the country. And the Mariners are rolling to begin the second half of the season after a dominant 8-0 win last night against the Cincinnati Reds. Cal Raleigh put the game away in the 7th with this grand slam.
Here's the pitch. Swung on and destroyed. It's on its way. Upper deck just short. Going sail away. Grand slam. Cal Raleigh.
Once again, sitting in first place in the American League West. First pitch tonight against Cleveland again at 6:40. You can hear it on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports. Time for a check on traffic on this early Tuesday morning. Chris Sullivan is watching things.
A little bit of building volume here and there. The heaviest spot, eastbound 512, heading down the South Hill. But by most day standards, it's nothing that you can't handle. You get down to the valley, and it's running around 38 minutes to get you up into Renton. The brake lights there are really right around 180th. Renton to Bellevue's not bad, 15 minutes for you guys. Olympia to Tacoma, 30. Tacoma is quiet. Federal Way to Seattle's only 35. Though we do have a few brake lights down the hill getting to South Center. Coming down from the north end, not much yet. 35 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. About 20 minutes away from the start of the slowing. We'll see at Northgate with the loss of the express lanes. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Our forecast, it's only a couple of days. We can handle it, right? Heat advisory kicks in at 10 o'clock this morning. Hazy and hot today, 90 the high. 93 for tomorrow, and then we're in for a really nice stretch of weather. Thursday might be a kind of a transition day with a few showers, possibly some thunder showers too, around 80, but then we'll be into the upper 70s for Friday, Saturday, mid-70s on Sunday. Right now in Seattle, partly cloudy and 66.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio Northwest News. Seattle's tradition for news and conversation. This is Seattle's Morning News with Charlie Harger and Manda Factor.
It's now 5:36. In Charlie's commentary, why one former Washington governor is speaking out about the state's budget.
There's no budget discipline.
That's Gary Locke, the Democratic governor of Washington from 1997 to 2005. He said that Thursday at a business summit in SeaTac, talking about a legislature run by his own party. He wasn't finished.
So I think spending is out of control in Olympia. They need much more discipline. They need to set priorities.
Those are comments he made to the Center Square. He is the second former Democratic governor to say a version of this in 3 months. Back in May, Christine Gregoire stood in front of a similar crowd and did the math out loud. She left office with a budget of $33 billion. Budget today, $80 billion. Her words, we don't really have an income problem, we have a spending problem. Two Democratic governors, same warning, 3 months apart. Neither one running for anything, neither one with a thing to gain. Locke and Gregoire ran the state for a combined 16 years. Locke was governor when Washington was growing the companies that made this state rich. Gregoire steered us through the Great Recession without the wheels coming off around here. The competitive advantages they protected are why Washington has the third highest per capita GDP in the country. And Gregoire endorsed Governor Bob Ferguson. She campaigned for him. When the woman who helped build the house says the foundation's cracking, you don't tell her she doesn't live there anymore. You get a flashlight. Here's the pattern they're describing at kitchen table volume. You get a pile of money that shows up once. Federal relief, a settlement, a good year. You use it to start a program. That program helps people, which is the point, and it creates a group of people who now depend on it. Then the one-time money does the thing one-time money does. It runs out. So you raise taxes to keep that program running. And next session, that new revenue gets committed to the next round of programs built on the next pile of one-time money, and the whole thing starts over. Which brings us to the millionaire's income tax. The 99.9% tax on income above $1 million was sold as an answer to the shortfalls. Locke, who's not exactly a tax-cutting crusader, looked at the books.
What's going on? They say that this was necessary to balance the budget, but even with that money, they're facing a deficit. And will they even be able to use that money for the programs that they've promised the voters?
Former Democratic governor just asked whether his party's signature new tax can pay for the things it was promised to pay for. According to Olympia's own projections, the answer is no. There is still a deficit 2 years out, even with that income tax on the budget. When you take in more money than you ever have and you still can't cover the bills, the problem is on the other side of the ledger. Now, the response that somebody brings up every time this gets mentioned is, so what would you cut? What services for seniors would you eliminate? What schools will get shut down? It's a fair question, but it skips a step. Before we get to what gets cut, somebody should explain why permanent obligations keep getting built on temporary money in the first place. That's the decision that creates the crisis. Everything after it is triage. Now, Locke had a system for this back in 2002. He called it priorities of government. Every agency ranked its programs by how much they mattered to the public. Fund from the top down until the money's gone. It's uncomfortable, it's unglamorous, and it forced people to say out loud what they valued most. Nobody's doing that now. Nobody's even pretending to. Two people who ran this state for 16 years are standing outside the door telling anyone who will listen that the numbers don't work. They have no campaign to fund, nothing to sell. They've just seen enough budgets to know how this one ends. The math is the math.
You can find all of Charlie's commentaries at mynorthwest.com. It's 5:40. Coming up, your political insights from ABC's Stephanie Officer. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
Jane is a small business owner.
That's right.
And tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect. Plus gig speeds with security and equipment included. All with a 5-year price lock.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
Exactly. The Total Solutions Advantage. Get started for just $60 a month for 12 months when you add wireless connect to a qualifying internet package. No one does business like Comcast Business.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Let's talk about artificial intelligence.
I cannot answer that.
Many professions are using it, and allegedly some are even being taken over by it. At 1-800-DUI-AWAY, we know police are leveraging AI, whether it's analyzing body cam footage, reading license plates, or even facial recognition. AI has become a helpful tool, enabling officers to work more efficiently. And efficiency for them means more people getting pulled over. You can't chat GPT your way out of a high BAC. Getting legal advice from AI is no substitute for an attorney. Use AI correctly, or it can result in trouble, like a self-driving car taking you home from a bar.
You have reached your destination.
So call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. If you get pulled over for DUI, the only thing you need your smart device to do is call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY!
These are your political insights from ABC News. New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani has doubled down on his stance on arresting Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for war crimes in Gaza if he enters the city during his tenure.
My point is that if someone is charged with a warrant by the International Criminal Court for these kinds of crimes, that's something I believe that should be honored, and I've also said that we will follow our local laws.
Netanyahu on WABC Radio.
So he's with the terror actors, and I think the problem is, that he doesn't recognize or he doesn't care that those who hate the Jews and Israel ultimately hate America.
Mamdani is instructing city lawyers to look into the legality of arresting Netanyahu. Darlene Graham, sister of late South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, who will finish his term, now says she'll run for a full one. A special GOP primary is being held August 11th. Tuesday is primary day in Arizona, where all 9 of the state's congressional seats are up for grabs. I'm Stephanie Officer, ABC News.
It's 5:44. A look at the forecast. You've been waiting for it. It's here. It's going to be hazy and hot. Heat advisory takes effect at 10 o'clock this morning. We're headed for a high of 90 today. Overnight lows in the mid-60s tomorrow, even warmer, 93 tomorrow. And then Thursday, we might see some thunder showers, a few showers a possibility, and much cooler, only 79 Thursday. Friday looks great. Clouds in the morning, sunshine in the afternoon, and 78. Right now in Seattle, partly cloudy at 66 degrees. Coming up, our weekly segment with New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold. He'll give us an update on the war with Iran, new tariffs on Canada, and new information on the Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool. That's just ahead on Seattle's Morning News.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales Event going on right now through Sunday, August 2nd. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Are you in pain? Have you considered surgery or even joint replacement? Hi, everybody. It's John Curley. Before you make that decision, I recommend you see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. I did, and it's been a game changer. My doctor took a look at my x-rays and said, well, looks like you need a whole new hip. And then he said, wait, how old are you? And I told him, and then he said, well, wait, you're too young for a hip. You're just going to have to, live with the pain. We'll see you in 3 years. It was horrible. Dr. Wagner is a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience performing more than 20,000 stem cell procedures, using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. People with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back doing what they enjoy doing without pain and without surgery. So whether it's a hip like I had, or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
If you're over 62 and the rising cost of living is putting pressure on your budget, listen carefully. I'm Steve Teitler, owner of Best Mortgage. I hear from seniors all the time who love their home, want to stay in it, but are worried about how far their money will go. Property taxes are up, insurance is up, monthly bills keep rising, and some of them still have a mortgage payment. A reverse mortgage could help by eliminating that mortgage payment, paying off debts, and giving you more room in your monthly budget. Now, let me say this, it's not right for everyone, but for the right person, it can make a real difference. When you call Best Mortgage, you work directly with me for a free consultation. I'll explain how it works, answer your questions, and tell you honestly whether it fits your needs. If you're 62 or older and want to learn more about staying in your home with less financial stress, call me today. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage. Honest advice you can trust. 425-649-6000.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show. Seattle's morning news on KIRO Newsradio.
It's now 5:47. Along with Charlie Harger, I'm Manda Factor.
And every Tuesday, we call up New York Times investigative reporter David Fahrenthold to talk about the big stories of the week. Good morning, David. Thanks for being here. The Iranian leadership this morning saying they are at full-scale war with the United States. What's your takeaway?
Well, I think this is a war that the Iranians clearly have decided that they can gain something from, that they kind of baited President Trump back into full-scale war. I think the Iranians feel like they benefit internally because it gives them an excuse to stamp out all repression and gives people a reason to rally around them. It makes the opponents seem worse than they are. And they think that this is reinforcing their control over the Strait of Hormuz, making them into a regional power player. I think they just feel like this is a war they want to stay in, and that's why they won't let President Trump quite get away from it.
Are there even negotiations for peace going on at this point?
I mean, probably there are some sort of back-channel communications. It seems like there are factions in Tehran that may want a peace more than the people who are really in charge. But it doesn't seem like now. It seems like both sides are escalating. In fact, we saw today that the Houthis, the Iranian allies in Yemen, have now said that they also want to blockade the Red Sea so that the Saudi Arabians can't get their oil out through that waterway either.
Your colleagues wrote that book, Regime Change, and it describes the lead up to this war where the president was getting pushback, warnings from different people in the administration saying this could happen, that this could turn into a quagmire. What's your sense of what the president is hearing now as we have gone now 10 days in a row with airstrikes on Iran?
It's a good question. I don't think the people who were the most skeptical of the war then, that would be Vice President Vance and Dan Kane, who is the chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff, have that much leverage to push back now. Now we're in it, right? So it's, it'd be one thing not to get into the war in the first place, but now that we're in it, the U.S. is committed. We've lost lives, we've lost credibility, sort of staked our place in the world on our ability to finish this war on our own terms. I don't know if those folks are quite as loud as they were, because there's not now the cost that we've incurred in this war means we have to get something more on the way out. I just don't see the leverage to get that right now.
David, another thing that's getting a lot of buzz this morning is the fact President Trump is slapping a tariff on many Canadian goods. We're not talking just a little one. It's 50% tariffs. What's the purpose? What's going on here?
Yeah, this is part of he wants to return to the battles we saw last year over renegotiating trade barriers with Canada, trying to get Canada to lower some of its trade barriers. It may honestly be a little bit of a distraction, even though it's something else that's going to raise prices for people. It's Trump's return to something that he feels like was a pretty successful period of last year where he used tariffs to threaten various countries and get various concessions. It doesn't seem very strategic at a time when we're headed toward the midterms and inflation and costs are on a lot of people's minds. But he seems to feel like this is his biggest weapon, and he can get something good out of Canada.
Let's move to Air Force One, or as Drudge is calling it, Cutter Force One. He was questioned by a reporter on a tarmac saying, where are the missile defense systems on this new Air Force One? President essentially said, yeah, we noticed that, and we're going to go get it maxed out. What is going on here?
So to take one step back, President Trump didn't like the old Air Force One, which was a few decades old. Boeing was supposed to be producing another one, and that was behind schedule. Basically just didn't think it was luxurious enough. So Qatar offers this very nice 747 that the president accepts for free and says it's going to retrofit to be a 747, to be an Air Force One. But being an Air Force One is hard. There's all kinds of anti-missile, anti-radar. It's a flying battle station, basically. And the current plane, the one from Qatar, wasn't ready. It wasn't fully decked out. It didn't have all the anti-missile capabilities, and so they flew it to Turkey for the NATO summit a couple of weeks ago. And then while they were there, when fighting with Iran picked up again, the Secret Service told Trump, "Don't fly in this plane because it's not as well protected." So he flies back to the U.S. on another plane and says at the time a falsehood about how we took it to an Air Force base in London just because it's great. People want to see it. Show it to the troops. Now President Trump admits that it's not, quote unquote, maxed out. It doesn't have all the things that it should. And now he says it's going to get that sort of upgrade. You recall that the Trump administration has gone after our reporters, tried to subpoena their, bring them to a grand jury to try to get their phone records, to try to figure out who leaked this information. But now that President Trump is saying to everybody publicly, look, this plane wasn't ready.
I don't mean this as commentary of any sort, but it seems like we're asking a lot these days, what is going on here? We haven't spoken since the president's address last week. What did you make of it, and what does it mean for the midterms coming up?
It was billed as something new and different, but it wasn't. President Trump repeated a lot of the falsehoods and exaggerations that he's been making for years about the 2020 election, that there were non-citizens voting or that there was problems with voting machines. Everything that he's talked about has been investigated thoroughly and found that it did not affect the outcome of the 2020 election in any state. None of the things he talked about are new, and none of the things he talked about have been found to have any impact on the outcome of the 2020 election. It's more sour grapes from him because he lost that election. I am worried that he will use this as a pretext to try to intervene more in the midterm election if it doesn't go the way that he wants. And I hope that states that are going to be contested are ready for that. But in terms of, for your listeners, the question is, did Trump reveal anything new? Did he prove his point any better? The answer is no on both counts.
Okay, and a quick update on the reflective pool in Washington, D.C.
Again, what is going on here?
Yeah, exactly, David.
So you recall that the administration said that the reason that the pool's blue peeling is peeling up is because of vandals. Instead, yesterday we were out at the pool. We had a photographer out there who saw pieces from people from the Park Service trying to clean it up and just pulling huge sheets of it up with their bare hands. In fact, we saw it sometimes when the wind would blow, the wind would, like flaps of the lining in the pool, which is now dry, flaps would peel up and flap in the wind. So I don't think you need a box cutter or a strong person. It seems like that peeling is peeling on its own.
Well, the conspiracy goes deep otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
David Farenthold, New York Times investigative reporter. David, we'll check in with you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's 5:54. Time for a check on the weather. It's 10 o'clock this morning when the heat advisory goes into effect. We're looking for 90 today, overnight low of 65, 93 tomorrow. It's just 2 days. We can get through it together, right?
Smoky.
Yeah, the smoke is an issue. It was more so yesterday than I thought it was going to be.
Can't sleep at night.
Are you getting grouchy already?
Maybe.
Thursday is our transition day. We'll see a few showers, maybe even thunder showers again like we did the other day. 79 the high, and then Friday, only 78 with morning clouds, afternoon sunshine. So far, the weekend looks like we'll stay in the mid-70s with sunshine in the afternoons. Right now in Seattle, it is partly cloudy and 66.
Coming up in the next hour, we'll have more of the day's top local headlines, including Tukwila City Council outlawing camping on city property in order to stop homeless encampments. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey will have a live update.
Also coming up at 6:15, Chris Sullivan has a choke point, a big closure coming to Highway 202. He'll tell you all about it.
You can always text the show, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Hello! Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi?
They even brought their own devices and spell book.
You didn't give them the new Wi-Fi password, right?
No.
That's good.
I gave them our old one. Because Xfinity lets us keep the same network name and password so devices connect instantly.
What do they want Wi-Fi for anyways?
Better not to know. Plausible deniability.
Get streaming or scheming instantly with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in one price for the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi for 5 years. Guaranteed. And see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once-yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
At Seattle Children's Hospital, 1 in 3 patient families can't afford the food their kids need to heal. Safeway and Jackson Smith & Jigba are fighting back with the Food First Project. No barriers, just help for families right now. Learn more at Safeway.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. A federal appeals court has just rejected a request by former President Joe Biden to block the release of recordings and transcripts from interviews he did before he was elected president. The interviews were with a ghostwriter working on a Biden memoir. Those recordings were obtained by special counsel Robert Hur, who investigated Biden's handling of classified documents but declined to bring any charges. As the U.S. military hits Iranian targets for the 10th consecutive night, the Trump administration looks for more money. ABC Chief Global Affairs anchor Martha Raddatz.
The administration is requesting nearly $70 billion to pay for this war, and Secretary Hegseth and the Joint Chiefs Chairman will be on the Hill to defend that request. They will also likely be asked about the injuries and fatalities.
17 Americans have died since the war started. Dozens have been hurt. Strong storms are expected to hammer the Northeast today, and Tropical Storm Bertha could run into the Louisiana coast sometime tomorrow. This is ABC News. 5 people were killed in an Ohio river over the weekend. The group had gathered Sunday in the Columbus suburbs. When one of them went for a swim in the river, he was struggling. The others, trying to help, jumped in, also ended up struggling. A driver called 911 after a child ran to the road to call for help. Doctors say it's a miracle. The odds of it being repeated, 1 in 15 million. A 34-year-old woman from Australia delivering 4 identical quadruplet girls. Their doctor is Alexa Badal.
One fertilized egg that then splits not once, not twice, but 3 times into 4 different babies, who then share a placenta. That is just incredible.
The girls' names are Emily, Harriet, Catherine, and Alexa, named for the doctor who took care of their mom during pregnancy.
It's just such a lovely present and such an honor. And I can't thank the family enough. I'm very happy that they'll have a little Alexa in their family forevermore.
I'm Sherry Preston. ABC News.
At 6:02, here's what's happening.
All that Tukwila City Council approves the camping ban. Luke Ducey will have more.
A heat advisory takes effect at 10 this morning for Greater Seattle. Highs could hit the lower 90s today. Forecasters urge you to stay hydrated, limited time outdoors this afternoon, and check on your neighbors.
10 large wildfires burning across Washington right now. The Lions Ferry fire in southeast Washington, 28% contained at 34,000 acres, but the Maudrite fire in Ferry County has forced level 3 evacuations with several structures lost.
And Jimothy the raccoon getting an official Seattle City proclamation. Celebration set for Sunday at noon at Bergen Park Place in Ballard.
Yes, I have found the T-shirt, the Jimothy T-shirt I want too. It's 6:03, time for a check on traffic. We do that every 10 minutes here on Seattle's Morning News, and Chris Sullivan is watching things.
And we're already starting to see the brake lights coming down out of Snohomish County as we see our second Tuesday of the return of I-5, Revive I-5 that is. We're already running over 40 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. For I-5, it's really heavy from about 130th past the forced merge at Northgate. For 405, it's already heavy through the construction zone in Canyon Park. Coming the other direction, Olympia to Tacoma's only 30 minutes, and then Federal Way to Seattle's running under 40. Some brake lights there as you work your way down into South Center, but after that, it's a pretty clean drive. Valley Freeway is under 40. We're seeing some slowing in the ramp meter to 405, but that's to be expected. Rented to Bellevue is running under 20 minutes as we start this Tuesday. This report brought to you by Bucky's Complete Auto Care. For 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repairs earned local trust with honest pricing, guaranteed repairs. That's why they're Carfax preferred. No gimmicks, just great service. Bucky's.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from Eastlake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's Morning News.
Good morning. It's 6:04. Tukwila City Council has outlawed camping on city property in order to stop homeless encampments.
Violators face jail time and a $1,000 fine. And we get the details live from KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
Yeah, it's a somewhat controversial vote by city leaders and a close one, too, 4-3. Not everyone agreed during public comment.
People who are unhoused and are in a public space are not there because it is the best option or this is fun in any way. They're in these spaces because they have no other option.
Now, the new law makes it illegal to camp on city property, including parks and sidewalks, making it a misdemeanor with up to 90 days in jail and that $1,000 fine. Police will still offer shelter referrals before enforcing the law. A lot of folks just don't like the idea of making it a crime.
Homelessness is not a crime. Trespassing is a crime. Drug use, loitering,
That could be a crime.
However, there were plenty of supporters for the law as well, including Andrea Suarez with We Heart Seattle. She told City Council encampments fuel drug use and human trafficking.
We need to bifurcate the population that we're talking about. We're not talking about a senior citizen that's on a mat in a church. We're talking about prolific drug addiction.
Supporters also pointed to damage being done to the parks in that area with some $300,000 in annual cleanup costs as well. Opponents, though, argue, look, the city has other tools like trespass warnings. They also say there isn't enough shelter space, and adding a criminal record to vulnerable people is just not the answer. City Council on both sides said they will revisit this ordinance if it proves harmful or ineffective. Fair to say a lot of other cities and locations are probably watching this one very closely to see how this all works out. Charlie Manda?
Luke Ducey reporting live at 6:05.
More now on the wildfires. Washington is battling 10 large wildfires across the state. The biggest is the Kaiser Canyon fire in Okanagan County. That's now nearly 63,000 acres, 0% contained. More than 1,000 people have been displaced there. About 800 structures are threatened. 500 firefighters are on the fire lines. The Lions Ferry fire in Adams, Franklin, and Whitman counties has burned more than 34,000 acres, 28% contained. The evacuation levels there have been lowered. The Maudwright Ferry in Ferry County has also grown to more than 6,400 acres with level 3 evacuations and about 5 structures lost or damaged.
And air quality could be an issue here in the Puget Sound region as winds push that wildfire smoke here.
We're expecting smoke to move in. Most of the smoke's going to be higher up, so the skies are probably going to look hazy. We expect some of that smoke to get down to the ground, but at this point, I don't think it should be too bad. I think we should be in the moderate. Some places might get worse than that for a short bit.
Phil Swarzenjuber with the Puget Sound Clean Air Agency says you might smell smoke, but it won't be on the dangerous level we've seen in other parts of the country.
Puget Sound Energy will put its new Flex program to the test for the first time today. Between 5 and 8 p.m., the 640,000 customers enrolled in the program can earn bill credits from 25 cents to $3 just by making small changes, like bumping up the thermostat a couple degrees or firing up the grill instead of the oven. Melanie Kuhn with PSE says the heat will put extra strain on the system, but they can handle it.
You have a portfolio of different power sources to be able to maintain reliability. So this is just another tool in the toolbox.
The hour with the heaviest demand for power is 6 to 7 p.m.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Well, here we are, Tuesday, July 21st. Charlie, Harger, and Manda Factor kicking off your Tuesday morning.
And Sully is here with traffic on the 3s. Producer David Burbank is here in the studio.
And look at that. Nick Neihart came back along with Nick Kreisha in the control room. They are running the board, picking the tunes. It's mostly Nick Neihart right now. Nick Kreisha just kind of sitting back.
He's a good teacher.
He's kind of like the Godfather right now. He's supervising.
Okay, it says here it's going to be hot the next couple of days. Are you excited?
I enjoy going out on the patio in the afternoon, being able to sit back there. Yeah,
if there's a breeze.
And I think if the smoke is at a low level, then that changes everything. If it's smoky, then that makes it.
It was a little smokier yesterday than I thought it was.
Yeah,
it
was just almost cloudy.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted.
Sully, you have a choke point coming up?
Yes, I do. Going to take a look at something that could get in the way of your recreating this weekend. State's about to close down 202 in Fall City. They've got to do some emergency repairs. This is from the damage from the winter storms that we had that rolled through the area. The road was almost washed away, so they got to do some work there this weekend.
Okay. This hour of Seattle's Morning News, sponsored by American Crawl Space and Pest Control.
6:09. Washington State trooper accused of stalking his ex-girlfriend may lose his peace officer's license. KIRO 7 TV's Nia Bliss has the latest on Trooper James Arnold.
Jim Johansson is the attorney for Trooper Arnold in his criminal case.
This was a relationship that went bad,
in which charging documents say Arnold has told his ex that he is willing to commit acts of violence and that he once threatened to shoot her dog.
which just aren't true.
We reached out to Arnold's ex-girlfriend listed in court records and have not heard back from her. When it comes to Trooper Arnold's criminal case, his trial is set for October.
A bullet was fired through an apartment wall in unincorporated Bremerton over the weekend.
A resident at the apartment complex near Northwest Grandstand Street and Fairgrounds Road called 911 to report a round had pierced the wall. A Kitsap County Sheriff's deputy found a 9mm shell casing on the sidewalk outside, not far from the apartment complex, and that shell casing was taken into evidence. No one was hurt. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
A woman is behind bars after deputies say she attacked her mother with a handsaw, then tried to run her over with a pickup truck. Pierce County Sheriff's Office says the mother tried to escape to a neighbor's house who called 911 after her daughter took her phone. Then her daughter struck the mother and the family dog before taking off on Friday.
Get out of the truck now!
The 46-year-old was completely naked and suffering from a mental health crisis. She now faces multiple counts of first-degree assault, along with eluding, resisting arrest, and other charges.
Pierce County deputies say a veteran's dream of selling his home was shattered by vandals over the weekend. Investigators say as many as 23 juveniles broke into the vacant Graham area home that was listed for sale. They threw a party and tagged nearly every wall inside and out with spray paint. Windows smashed, holes were punched in the walls, even the deck and utilities were damaged. Here's Pierce County Deputy Carly Capetto.
All 23 juveniles that were detained will be facing charges for residential burglary as well as malicious mischief.
The family was reportedly just 2 weeks away from closing on the sale of the house. Damage estimated at more than $50,000.
23 teenagers. Can you imagine being the parent and getting that call, hey, this is what's going on?
You're grounded for life.
Oh, my gosh. Family on Vashon Island desperately searching for their 350-pound stolen pet pig. Fox 13 Seattle reports someone took the pig named Brita over the weekend. The owners believe the pig napping was carefully planned. When they came home from the Vashon Strawberry Festival, they found a fence cut, hoof prints leading to tire tracks. They believe thieves used a trailer to haul Brita away. If you know anything, deputies would like you to call.
And the Mariners are rolling to begin the second half of the season after a dominant 8-0 win last night against the Cincinnati Reds. Cal Raleigh put the game away in the 7th inning.
Here's the pitch. Swung on and destroyed! It's on its way! Upper deck just short. Gold sail away. Grand slam. Cal Raleigh!
Mariners back in first place in the AL West. They take on the Reds again today. And first pitch at 6:40. You can hear it on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports.
At 6:12, it's time to get a check on the weather. We're joined by KIRO's 7 pinpoint meteorologist, Nick Allard. Nick, first thing I noticed when I opened the garage door at, 3 this morning was it's warm out.
It is. When I got in at 3, it was 70. Yeah, and it's 65 now at the airport. So, yes, it is going to be a hot day today. You can count on temperatures really jumping up. We're going to get with a pinpoint alert to like 90 in Seattle. I actually probably would have gone a little bit warmer, except that we will still have high clouds and we will still have some haze. Air quality is mainly in the good to moderate range, except it's going to be much worse in the Cascade foothills. So anything east of, I-5 and well east of there in any county today, closer to the foothills and in the mountains, air quality is going to come down quite a bit. I also think you're going to feel it low around like Skagit, Whatcom County, where you have that air quality alert. Most of us will be in the 90s, say about 92, 93 in Tacoma, 94, 95 in Olympia, 90 in Seattle, upper 80s, low 90s around Everett. And again, air quality at least in the moderate range. I think tomorrow is the same thing, except a little warmer. I got us at 93 in Seattle, might be 97, 98 around Olympia, Chehalis. But we do back out of this on Thursday. The downside to Thursday is there really is, no joke, a former tropical storm south around California that's going to push north. And while it's not even close to that powerful anymore, it will push a little moisture our way on Thursday. So that might just give us a few showers or a couple of isolated thunderstorms that form south of us and move through. But we'll fall back into the upper 70s and then low to mid 70s through the weekend. So a couple of days of some serious heat and then it cools off.
Think about the clicks you could get, though, if you just said tropical storm headed our way, Nick.
Well, all I have to say, I don't have to say anything about that. All I have to say is Jimothy.
Now we're talking.
That's all I got to do.
Right now in Seattle, we have high, wispy clouds in the sky. It's 66.
And it's time for a check on traffic. Every 10 minutes on the threes. Chris Sullivan is watching your drive.
And we're already seeing very heavy slowing away from the north end drive, especially away from Linwood on 405, as we are seeing a lot more braking getting through Canyon Park. We're over 40 minutes from Everett into Bellevue, so not great there. And then also over 40 from Everett to Seattle with brake lights beginning right around 145th past the Forest Merge. There's also some braking westbound across the trestle a little bit further to the north, but nothing you can't handle. We've got about an average drive to start so far. Federal Way to Seattle about 40 up the Valley Freeway as well. Renton to Bellevue about 17. Not too bad through the S-curves yet, but we're kind of teetering on that spot where it'll go up to about 25 minutes here pretty quickly as we start to see a little bit more volume. Lake bridges are still fine. Olympia to Tacoma, a little braking in Nisqually, a little bit up to DuPont, about 40 minutes as well to get you up to Tacoma. This report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Save big during July. Buy 3 windows or doors, get 1 free from Lake Washington Windows and Doors, plus make no payments for 12 months. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Hey, oh, let's go.
Now, Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
Let's go.
The state still making repairs to roads and bridges after the devastating floods over the last year.
Work is moving to Highway 202 near Falls City this week, creating a 16-mile detour if you're trying to get around the area. Sully, tell us all about it.
Well, the Snoqualmie River came close to taking out SR 202 in Falls City during those storms. The raging water nearly undercut the road just east of the roundabout where 202 and 203 converge in Falls City.
This area has experienced erosion in the past, but the recent storms from December and March significantly accelerated the erosion at that location. So much so that the distance between the riverbank and the highway lost about 15 feet.
As you can see on our YouTube live feed there's a shot from the DOT they sent me of just how close to the roadway some of that got. The Washington Department of Transportation's Elizabeth Mount says they need to get in there now to protect the road.
It created an urgent need to stabilize the embankment and protect SR 202 before the next rainy season.
Starting tomorrow, work on those repairs will get underway. For the next couple of days, SR 202 will be down to alternating traffic in the area between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. so the contractor can set up a work zone, and then the road will be closed entirely this weekend. 202 will be closed from 9 p.m. Friday night until 5 a.m. Monday. Local traffic will have access up to that closure point, but people trying to go through the area will face a 16-mile detour. You will either have to use Snoqualmie Parkway, I-90, and then the Preston Falls City Road to get around.
We really appreciate people understanding the emergency nature of this work and why it needs to happen, and recognize that this is going to put a damper on some people's days with that extra travel time, but it's really important that it gets done.
You should expect 45-minute delays at a minimum. People with games at the Preston Park Field should also expect a lot of extra congestion and a lot of company over the weekend, especially with more people there on I-90 as well. Mount says they will need to get a giant crane on the road and then move some massive logs into place to stabilize the movement.
They're going to take large logs and sort of jam them into the embankment and use that as a base to rebuild. They're going to then take other woody material, boulders, rocks, and sort of build up that embankment.
And then new ground will be covered with even more material to strengthen it. You should also expect impacts if you plan to use the Snoqualmie River during this work, including the boat launches.
The river itself will also have some impacts because we're going to be doing in-water work. So if your plans include the river, to keep that in mind as well.
So if you normally put your boat in or in and around this area in Falls City, you might run into a closed boat launch this weekend. And this is just the first of 2 weekends of closures. The contractor will be back the weekend after Seafair with an even longer closure.
There will be a second weekend closure. It'll be a little bit more significant as far as the timeline. It'll be Thursday, 9 p.m. Thursday to 9 p.m. Monday. And that'll happen in 2 weeks. So think about those dates as well coming up while you're making any sort of weekend travel plans for early August.
Again, that's going to be the weekend after Seafair. Nearly 10,000 drivers use this section of 202 every weekend. Weekday, that is. Weekend traffic volumes can vary, but this road is very well used on sunny summer weekends.
Yeah, I'm just looking that we have the concert at the Renlinger Farms on August 8th.
That's going to be in between, I believe.
That's in between? Okay.
No, you're right. That is, let's see, I'm trying to remember. That's
so the 25th is this Saturday, the 1st is the following Saturday, and the 8th is after that.
Well, which one is Seafair?
I believe. Well, they do it like the next 2 weekends.
Well, the one
right?
with the air show.
It's got to be the first. Right?
Okay, then that would be that weekend, that August 8th through 10th. I will double check that for you to get the official weekend on that. But yeah, wow.
Just be prepared if you're headed out.
Yeah, as I said, right there east of the roundabout. If you were right there, you would have to go 16 miles around just to get, that 300 yards to the west there on 202. So yeah, it is going to have a significant impact.
July 31st through August 2nd, the big air show.
Yeah. So it is that following weekend.
So it'll be the following weekend.
Yeah, so if you're going out to the concert, be ready.
Well, you know what you do? Just celebrate the Mariners' 50th. Because that's that weekend of the 7th, 8th, and 9th. So you can do that instead of going out to Fall City.
All right. Sully, where can we find out more?
MyNorthwest.com. There's an article up there. Plus, it has all the dates on that one up there as well because I couldn't remember them now on the spot. I probably should have thought of that. But, MyNorthwest.com. We've got all that info, all you need right there.
Stand by. We'll get back to you for traffic here in a second. The Whatcom County man attacked by a bison in Yellowstone National Park is up and walking. Carl McDaniel of Kendall, east of Bellingham, broke his femur in 4 places when the animal tossed him into the air 10 days ago.
It picked a target. That target happened to be me. He just kept coming, and he was more aggressive. And as soon as he got off that tree, he launched me in the air.
McDaniel talked with KTVQ from his hospital bed in Billings. Last week, National Park officials said the bull bison will not be put down or removed from the park.
He's this big burly guy with suspenders, a big white beard, and he sounds very young in that.
He does, doesn't he?
Sounds very... All right.
Glad he's going to be okay.
2 members of Washington's congressional delegation are teaming up to tackle sea lion predation on endangered salmon. Republican Michael Baumgartner and Democrat Emily Randall introduced the Northwest Endangered Salmon Predation Prevention Act. The bill would expand lethal removal authority. I think what we're trying to say is we can kill the sea lions in Washington's marine waters and invest in new deterrence technology. Baumgartner spoke about the issue in a committee hearing last December.
There are too damn many sea lions eating too many fish. They need to be reduced. We need to have the tools.
But California Democratic Congressman Jared Huffman says if killing more sea lions is the only thing Congress will do for salmon, quote, you're missing it.
Claiming to care about salmon recovery only when you get to kill off another species it's not conservation. I don't know what it is.
Hearing on the bill set for this morning.
Animal control officers are trying to figure out who is abandoning dogs in Puyallup. According to a Facebook post from the Metro Animal Shelter, crews have found several unclaimed dogs. They're turning up at Wildwood Park, Clarks Creek Park, and Bradley Lake Park. Staff say many of the dogs are suffering from malnutrition and skin conditions. The shelter is also asking for donations of dry and wet puppy food.
Jimothy the raccoon is getting an official city proclamation. Council member Alexis Mercedes Rink announced a celebration for Seattle's newest local icon on Sunday at noon at Bergen Place Park near the Ballard Farmers Market. Artists are invited to bring Jimothy-themed artwork for a friendly art competition.
That's just awesome. It's just a bright light we needed, right?
You guys all saw Jimothy for the first time
He
Friday morning.
scared the heck out of me, but now I love him.
Like, Sully was calling for unseemly things.
Fire.
And now?
Now I love the guy. Right? Now that I know he's not some cryptid that's like here to take us, into a, bringing back Bigfoot back and forth through the dimensions that they go through.
It really does feel like he's taken over Seattle quite a bit. I was at a Storm game with my wife last night, and the Jumbotron, every single cut screen thing had Jimothy running along the screen. Fun stuff.
All right. You're right, man. This is what we needed. It's 6:23. We check in with Sully every 10 minutes for traffic.
And to confirm, just double-checked with the DOT for my choke point, that second Falls City closure there at SR 202 will be from 9 p.m. Thursday, August 6th through 9 p.m. Monday night, August 10th. So that's going to be the weekend after Seafair. That's the one. So it is going to impact that concert out there, Charlie. So we'll remind everybody when we got that coming up here in 2 weeks. On the roads right now, definitely building volumes. The heaviest drive pulling away from Linwood. Already 30 minutes from Linwood to Seattle or Bellevue, which puts us at about 50 all the way from the Everett area. Westbound across the Trestles, pretty heavy as well on the east end through all the weaving and merging as people come down from Lake Stevens and over from Snohomish. Coming up from the south end, not too bad yet. I mean, there are some brake lights through Nisqually, kind of the typical stuff you're used to. 40 minutes to get you up into Tacoma. And then Federal Way to Seattle's a little over 40, depending on how you hit the volume at the north end of the Boeing Field area, right past the West Seattle Bridge. Renton to Bellevue is about 20. The S-curves have activated, but by the time you're up to 30th, you're going to be up to freeway speed. Behind that, the Valley Freeway slowing in Auburn. Might be a crash right near Emerald Downs. I'm checking into that right now. We have about a 45-minute trip already from Puyallup up to Renton. That's a couple of minutes behind schedule. This report brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Don't miss the biggest event of the year, the T-Mobile Park 50 Season Celebration Night, August 8th, presented by Daktronics. Get your tickets, mariners.com.
Well, here it comes, 2 days of misery. Just kidding. We'll be fine. It's going to be hazy and hot, though, 90. That heat advisory kicks in at 10 o'clock this morning. Tomorrow, even hotter, 93 tomorrow. Overnight lows will be in the mid-60s, and then we get a break on Thursday. Might see some thunder showers as we transition into some nicer weather. 79 on Thursday, and then Friday looks great. Clouds in the morning, sunshine for the afternoon, and 78. Right now, it's 66 with some high clouds in Seattle.
Coming up, we'll have more of the day's top stories, and Luke Ducey with a weather outlook for the week. Look at the impact coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
State Senator Jamie Peterson drafted one of the state's most progressive taxes to date, the income tax on millionaires.
Engaging conversation.
We pay teachers the fourth highest of any state in the country.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
The Seahawks! They're bringing it home again!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Hey, when was the last time you inspected your crawl space or your attic? What's the last time you went in there just to see what kind of shape they're in? Oh, never? Yeah, same. I don't want to go in there. Most homeowners completely avoid those areas, but it is important to check on them regularly. It's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and go where you don't want to. Hey, it's Mike Salk here. And yes, when Crawl Pros came out to my place, they realized we had a little problem with our insulation. So they've set about fixing it, and they did a great job. But if you've got the same problem, they'll also look to see what kind of energy rebates are available. Right now, local utility companies are incentivizing homeowners to make their home more energy efficient with proper insulation. And some homes qualify for several $1,000s in savings with these utility rebate programs. So don't just assume your crawl space and attic are in great condition. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros today and schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection and find out if you've got water intrusion, mold, rodent issues, or even damaged insulation. Schedule your crawl space and attic inspection at crawlpros.com.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees when used as directed. Spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour, and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone.
where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. Get a free oil filter and more during the Celebrate Free event at AutoZone, now through July 27th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn, understands the pressure that comes from owing money to the IRS. Don't let that pressure build. Call None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for autopay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from Eastlake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning, it's 6:31. Well, today and tomorrow could be the hottest days of the year in the Seattle area, with temperatures expected to surpass 90 degrees.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with more on what to expect.
Well, here we go. Buckle up, buttercups. Heat advisory is going to go into effect at 10 a.m. this morning and last through Wednesday at about 11 p.m. The National Weather Service says we can expect temps up to 90 degrees today in the Seattle area. Tomorrow, though, they're projecting 92 degrees at SeaTac Airport, which is where most meteorologists look for a kind of baseline temperature. Some reminders from the National Weather Service forecaster, Jacob DeFlitch.
It's going to remain important to drink a lot of fluids, stay in air-conditioned rooms as much as you can, and staying out of the sun, and also checking up on your neighbors and relatives during this period, because this is going to be a hot stretch coming up for us.
That sure is. So why do we have this heat wave in the first place? Well, because the westerly winds, or nature's air conditioner, as it's known, they've died down for the next couple of days. They'll come back Wednesday night, though. They promise. As for all that said, let's time for some wishful thinking. I put this in here because and we can talk about it a little bit too, Charlie and Amanda. You can tell me if I'm crazy. Will it really reach 90 and 92 at SeaTac Airport, the baseline recording station for the National Weather Service? Well, according to one expert, Cliff Mass, temperatures at SeaTac are not accurate.
The temperatures there have been substantially undermined, warmed, because of the addition of the third runway and all the urbanization around SeaTac Airport.
So he and some others claim that, the air washes over hot concrete and pavement and then hits those sensors there. And get this, over the past 15 years, there have been more than double the number of record highs recorded at SeaTac Airport than record lows. So we'll see what the gauges say later today and tomorrow. I'm just, again, wishful thinking. I don't like the heat that much. Meantime, look, stay hydrated. Again, check on your older neighbors for sure. Go to your local government websites to find cooling stations and other tips. I checked King, Pierce, and Snohomish County this morning, along with Seattle and Tacoma. They all have great resources on their websites to beat the heat. Most importantly, do not leave children, pets, or people with mobility challenges inside a parked car. And there's always this.
Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind.
Going through the jasmine in my mind, Charlie. I thought of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Probably staying cool with those thoughts.
I am the jasmine in so many minds.
There you go. You heard it here first. Stay cool, everyone.
Okay. 6:33 now. Time for a check on traffic. And we do that every 10 minutes. Here's Sully.
I've always wondered that about the sensors. If your car, if you're parked in the way and you turn it and it says it's like 105 out, and you're like, that's not right. Or the bank, the things are like, that can't be right. You're just kind of sitting there. So
it's going to be pretty darn hot.
Yeah, it's going to be mildly hot today. Not like that 99-degree day where I had to wear a suit in Montana a week ago.
Yeah, I know.
We'll get into that later.
Sacrifices you make.
We're looking at the drive right now, and we are definitely seeing a lot of braking away from Linwood. We're over 50 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue today. The heaviest spots there, right where they should be, right through Northgate on southbound 5 and for 405 south of Canyon Park through 522. Looking at Renton to Bellevue now. The S-curves are active, and we've got about a 25-minute trip to get you up into Bellevue. Behind that, whatever we're dealing with right around Main Street, 15th Northwest, I'm still looking for something on northbound 167 in that area because it gets pretty red pretty quickly and then you get out of it just as fast. But you got about a 45-minute trip from Puyallup to Renton. There are some brake lights down the South Hill. Olympia to Tacoma is over 40. Federal Way to Seattle a little over 40, but not quite 45. This report brought to you by LeMay, America's Car Museum. Super Summer Weekend is here at LeMay, America's Car Museum, and it's mostly free. Saturday, Cars and Coffee Show, americascarmuseum.org.
We're looking for a high of 90 today in Seattle. It'll be hazy as well, so darn hot. Darn hotter tomorrow. 93 the forecast high. 63 right now downtown.
From ABC News, Wall Street now. President Trump plans to hit a wide range of Canadian products with new 50% tariffs in response to what the White House calls discriminatory treatment of American-made cars, alcohol, and dairy products. The tariffs take effect in a month. Gas prices have again cracked the $4 a gallon mark. AAA says the nationwide average for regular is up 13 cents in the past week after fresh attacks by both Iran and the U.S. crimped the flow of oil from the Persian Gulf. The latest American Customer Satisfaction Index is out, finding that Chick-fil-A has lost its top ranking to Jersey Mike's. Chick-fil-A's satisfaction score actually stayed the same, but was leapfrogged by the sandwich chain. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Another successful day for Boeing at the Farnborough Air Show. It's announced orders for 40 new jets from 4 different customers. Orders are a combination of Maxes, Dreamliners, and 777 freighters.
A new study finds Washington is among the top states where people are searching for missing or stolen packages. Here's KIRO Newsradio's Katrina Gishard.
If you're wondering where your package went,
Please, please, please.
according to AutoDS.com, the state comes in 8th nationwide each month for lost packages. USPS-related complaints top the list, followed by Amazon and UPS. Experts say tracking updates and secure delivery options can help keep your packages from disappearing. Katrina Gishard, KIRO News Radio.
A federal judge yesterday ordered Paramount and Warner Brothers Discovery to halt their $81 billion merger for at least 2 weeks.
12 states, including Washington, sued to block Paramount's pending buyout of Warner last week, alleging that such a combination would extinguish competition in Hollywood and lead to fewer choices for consumers, particularly moviegoers and cable customers across the U.S. The state's top prosecutors called on Warner and Paramount to not close the transaction until after a court had time to fully evaluate their claims. There's a hearing set for August 3rd. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
U.S. mortgage rates hit their highest levels in nearly a year at 6.55%. American home sales dropped 5% in June. Yet Zillow's chief economist, Misha Fisher, outlined some glimmer of hope for potential home buyers who might be looking to make their move this year.
There still are a few other tailwinds that buyers and sellers can keep in mind right now. And that is specifically that home values are actually relatively flat at the national level year over year. And incomes, if you look at people's hourly earnings, that are up by about 3.5% from last year.
It's a record-breaking debt crisis with 1 in every 5 federal student loan borrowers in default. That means they've gone more than 9 months without making a required payment. News Nation's Nick Smith reports.
The number of defaults exploded from 5.3 million in June of last year.
That's more than $230 billion out of $1.7 trillion in the federal student loan portfolio. After a pause during COVID, payments resumed in 2023, but a temporary safety net prevented borrowers from falling into default until a year later. Once that financial clock started ticking again, millions of student borrowers ran out of time.
Default can destroy a credit score, eventually lead to wages or Social Security payments being garnished.
Trading is underway for the day on Wall Street, and the Dow is up about 181 points at 52,012. S&P 500 up 38. The Nasdaq is way up almost 1% to 237 points.
Today is a KIRO 7 pinpoint alert day. Your advance notice to stay safe in the heat, smoke, and summer storms. When weather threatens to disrupt your day and your plans, KIRO 7 sounds the alarm and alerts you days in advance. Stay informed, stay ready with KIRO 7 pinpoint weather only on KIRO 7 TV.
It's 6:39 now. Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, I'm still looking for something on northbound 167 as you pull away from Auburn. We'll break it down next.
The opening bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over...
Hi, I'm Ursula Voitin from the G and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the G and Ursula YouTube channel.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi. It's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons. And lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen. And oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live. And you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Step inside and let the excitement take you places. This is Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the ultimate spot for action that reaches incredible heights, luxury that knows no bounds, and live entertainment that always thrills. It's all at one incredible destination. So when you look for the best, look nowhere else. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the biggest and best in the Northwest.
Muckleshoot.
John Curley here. When the AC starts acting up, don't assume you need a whole new system. Home Comfort Alliance, their approach is simple. Repair first, replace only if needed. Their techs diagnose the real problem because a simple fix can often get the cooling back up again and not cost you a full replacement. Need something new? Ask about a heat pump for year-round comfort. That's what we did at the barn. Get real pricing in 60 seconds at homecomfortalliance.com. Call the comfort people. homecomfortalliance.com.
At 6:43, Chris Sullivan is watching the roads for us.
And my drivers are telling me that the right lane is blocked on northbound 167, just north of the Highway 18 interchange there in Auburn. Got a car with its hood up, at least according to my drivers. Nothing reported by the DOT, but it's right there around 15th Northwest, right in that general area. And so we are looking at a 50-minute trip from Puyallup to Renton. So behind schedule through there. Once you get through that, it's not too bad of a drive till you get up to about 180th in the Renton area trying to tie into 405. The Renton S-curve's definitely active, though, to start the day. 25 minutes plus to make that drive to Bellevue. Once you're up past 30th, though, it's a pretty good drive. There are some brake lights on northbound I-5 up past 272nd, coming up past Federal Way, a little bit more at the north end, so you can count on about 50 minutes now to go from Federal Way to Seattle. Coming down out of the north end, some brake lights in Marysville, a little bit across the trestle. Highway 9 looks like it's normal self, and then you've got an hour drive from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue with 40 of those minutes from Linwood. So we're off to the races on this Tuesday morning as we work our way down through the impacts of Revive I-5. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Heat advisory kicks in at 10 o'clock this morning. Hot and hazy today. We're looking for a high of 90. Overnight low 65. Tomorrow 93. And then Thursday we'll get a break. Few showers roll in. Maybe a thunder shower as we transition to some nicer weather. 79 on Thursday. Friday looks terrific. Morning clouds, afternoon sunshine, and 78. Mid-70s for both Saturday and Sunday. Right now in Seattle, just a few high clouds. It's 66 degrees.
Coming up, some new AI innovations coming out of China this week. We'll hear the latest from ABC News technology reporter Mike Dubusky coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Our summertime savings event means zero down, zero payments, and zero interest for up to 24 months, backed by our unbeatable warranties. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once-yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com. Has your junk drawer taken over the whole house? Closets jammed, garage packed, pantry a mess? Don't just live with it. John Curley here for Closets by Design. Organize your closets, garages, laundry rooms, and home offices with Closets by Design. Everything is custom built for how you actually live. For a limited time, get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18-month 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Reliable, refreshing, and ready every morning. Seattle's Morning News.
From ABC News Tech Trends. Kids who get kicked out of ChatGPT may have to have a hard conversation with their parents. OpenAI now says if kids and parents have linked accounts, the parents will be notified if the kids violate ChatGPT's rules against violent threats or acts of violence. Building a game within one of the biggest games on the planet could soon take only a few AI prompts. Roblox has announced an AI tool called Build that will let users create basic games using prompts from within the Roblox app. It's still in the early testing phase, but could go public in a few months. And one word may be a major hint that Apple really is about to introduce its first foldable phone. While going through a few versions of the iOS 27 beta, Macworld says there are references in the battery health section to batteries, plural. A lot of existing foldable phones actually pack 2 batteries, one on each side, in order to keep the device as thin as possible. With Tech Trends, I'm Stephanie Officer, ABC News.
It's now 6:48. Thieves in California are targeting air conditioning units to strip for copper parts. News Nation's Nancy Liu has more.
With the height of summer here and a heat wave still gripping Southern California and much of the country, cooling off means heading to the water or chilling with air conditioning, but also still hot. The national copper theft problem, which has HVAC systems as major targets of criminals everywhere. The damage and financial hits have business and homeowners fuming. Among the latest targets, several businesses in Pasadena, including a pet hospital and a bakery, where the thieves stole copper wiring from a rooftop air conditioning unit. A sign the criminals are after the copper components and parts more than the air conditioning. Now, HVAC systems have also been gutted at businesses in Colorado, Nevada, and other states, making the summer heat wave even harder to handle.
I don't think it's necessarily targeted to one area or another. It's just kind of whatever is convenient for whoever's trying to steal that. If there's easy access to it, then that just entices people to steal it.
The financial damage is really the worst because we're talking as a result of this situation in the last month. It has cost me over $6,000.
In Louisiana, the recent theft of copper wiring has disabled some drainage pumps in Jefferson Parish, raising serious flooding concerns ahead of hurricane season. Those thieves, they were caught, but local leaders say the repairs will take months and cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, the copper theft problem has been described as a billion-dollar national security and infrastructure crisis, at times leaving some communities without public transit or even electricity at all.
That's News Nation's Nancy Liu.
It's a big week for Chinese technology as 2 powerful AI models are debuting in Beijing.
This is just the latest in the battle between the U.S. and China over AI development. With the latest, we bring in ABC News technology reporter Mike Dubusky, who joins us every Tuesday for Tech Tuesday. Can you break this down for us, Mike?
Yeah, sure. So there's 2 models that are kind of at the center of this story, guys. The first one debuted on Friday. It comes from a Chinese tech firm known as Moonshot AI. They're calling the model Kimi K3. And they claim that in their own testing, this model is better than nearly all American AI models when it comes to its sort of overall performance on benchmark tests. That's the sort of generally objective way that we use to evaluate the relative strength of one AI model versus another. And we're talking about, this being competitive with the best models from OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, and everyone else. And then over the weekend, another model hit the scene. This one comes from Alibaba. It's called Qwen 3.8. Again, thought to be this super advanced AI model that can go toe-to-toe with the best that America has to offer. I mentioned those benchmark tests, guys. Again, it's like an SAT test for your AI model. It tests everything from math and science to literature to your ability to synthesize information. It's the same thing with AI models, right? It's meant to kind of evaluate the comprehensive so-called intelligence of these technologies. We don't know the specific scores that Moonshot or Alibaba got on these tests. We are expecting to learn them pretty soon. However, Moonshot says they plan to release Kimi's score on July 27th next week. Alibaba says that they're going to release theirs soon. We don't know specifically when. And they are hedging a little bit. Both companies say that their respective AI models are better than most of what the American AI companies have cooked up. They're not better than the best. For example, both Chinese firms say that a model from Anthropic called Fable 5 is likely to score better than them on these benchmark tests. Even still, this has riled Silicon Valley in a pretty big way, that the Chinese race is maybe a little bit closer than they were anticipating.
What are some of the implications if this is a non-American company or companies that are starting to make some progress here?
I mean, you've heard from Silicon Valley leaders like Sam Altman and others use the potential threat of China as a means by which to argue for looser regulatory environments in the US. This idea that this technology is going to be transformative. It's going to usher in the next technological revolution. Whether you believe that is a sort of different discussion, but that is certainly the argument that has been made by people who are pro-AI in Silicon Valley, and used pretty successfully to convince the Trump administration to loosen some of the restrictions around how quickly this technology is developed, because we're in a race with China. We want to own the next technological revolution, and we can only do that if we allow these tech companies to develop things very quickly. Of course, the argument against that would be that this technology is potentially very dangerous as well, and that developing it too quickly may lead to all sorts of crises of disinformation, misinformation, the potential for this to be used for developing horrible outcomes, right? Whether it be weapons or bioterrorist sort of goals and that sort of thing. That is sort of the argument that has played out in the tech space over how to regulate this, right? And the argument against regulation has always been like there's the specter of China. To a degree, we've also seen the Trump administration in recent years pass export controls over AI chips, right? The stuff that NVIDIA makes, to make sure that the United States gets the most powerful of those chips, right? That NVIDIA can't ship its most powerful stuff over to China. We want to keep that for ourselves in order to, continue to develop the best technology. Given what we're learning out of China in recent days, though, it seems like those export controls didn't do a lot. It seems like, again, this race is a lot closer than it used to be.
All right. ABC's Mike Dubusky joins us for Tech Tuesday. Mike, thank you. We need to check traffic. Here is Chris Sullivan.
And the heaviest drive, or most unusual drive, is on northbound 167 getting into and through the Auburn interchange there at Highway 18. Looks like the right lane is blocked according to my drivers right there about Main Street. So give yourself about 50 minutes now from Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue is about a half an hour now as we're starting to really bog down as you work your way into the 44th corridor past the VMAC. Northbound I-5, we have brake lights at the north end of Boeing Field and the West Seattle Bridge. You add that to the stuff in Federal Way, and we've got about a 50-minute trip already. Hour plus already as we head towards 7 a.m. coming down from Everett with the brake lights right where they should be because of Revive I-5. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
It's going to be hot for the next couple of days. 90 today, 93 tomorrow with overnight lows in the mid-60s. We'll get a break on Thursday, a few showers, maybe thunder showers, and only 79. It's 66 in Seattle right now.
Coming up, we'll have more of the day's top stories, including Tukwila City Council banning outdoor camping. Luke Ducey will have the latest.
We'll also chat with News Nation's host Leland Fittert coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
We all know a cancer diagnosis is physically and emotionally draining, but it can be financially draining too. That's why Northwest Hope and Healing is here to help. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda, a plastic surgeon who is proud to be part of Northwest Hope and Healing's mission. We provide a lifeline for breast and gynecologic cancer patients. We cover essentials like food, utilities, and childcare so patients can focus on healing. Since the year 2000, we have distributed over $3 million in direct financial assistance to thousands of local cancer patients. And you can make a direct impact. Mark your calendar for Life in Color, a summer brunch, auction, and fashion show on August 23rd at the Somme Hotel and Spa in Woodinville. It's an unforgettable afternoon of hope and inspiration, celebrating local cancer survivors. Get your tickets now for Life in Color on August 23rd. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
There are 6 markets you can place your money in. Research suggests it's better to have exposure to all 6 markets. Don't miss a potential opportunity because you didn't strategically diversify your assets. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Request your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing in your portfolio. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest-running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. For 34 years, they've been giving honest advice you can trust as your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts and debt consolidation specialists, too. Just web search Best Mortgage.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Rough weather is about to put 85 million Americans across the Northeast under threat with strong storms just a few hours away. ABC News Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z.
There will be rounds of them through the afternoon, but then the big line comes through tonight. I'd say after 5, 6 p.m. from west to east. We stopped at 8 p.m. New York City getting rocked, Philadelphia too. I want to just emphasize this is a damaging wind hazard.
Part of the Gulf Coast getting ready for Tropical Storm Bertha pushing west through the Gulf and headed for a possible landfall in Louisiana late tomorrow or early Thursday. A federal appeals court has turned down a request by former President Biden to keep private interviews he gave before winning the election to the White House. The White House is set to hit some Canadian imports with 50% tariffs. They're supposed to take effect in a month. Mediators in Pakistan trying to find a way to salvage the interim peace deal between the U.S. and Iran. They're meeting with Iran today. This is ABC News. Funeral services have been held for Mississippi teenager Nolan Wells, who died mysteriously during a boating outing with friends over the 4th of July.
A $100,000 reward is now being offered for answers after the mysterious death of Mississippi teenager Nolan Wells. His mother speaking at the 18-year-old's funeral yesterday.
We will miss everything about him, from his quiet nature to the corny jokes. His gentle smile.
Wells was last seen alive on a July 4th boat trip with friends to an island off the Mississippi coast. They returned without him, saying he stayed behind after meeting a girl. His body was found nearby 2 days later.
ABC's Sophie Flay. Just when you were winding down from the World Cup, a reminder that the Women's World Cup is set for next summer in Brazil. And just as Spain won the men's trophy Sunday, the nation's women have been the champions 3 years ago. The U.S. currently ranked number 2. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
It's 7:02. Here's what's happening. Washington is battling 10 large wildfires. The biggest, the Kaiser Canyon wildfire in Okanogan County, has burned nearly 63,000 acres with 0% containment.
A Bellevue climber was killed by rockfall on Mount Rainier over the weekend. 44-year-old Dai Hong Chen died on the Disappointment Cleaver route at about 11,600 feet.
And the Mariners back in first in the AL West after blanking Cincinnati 8-zip last night. Cal Raleigh capped it with a grand slam in the 7th.
Nice. Just about 7:03. That's time for a check on traffic now. And for that, we turn things over to Chris Sullivan.
And we've got some issues on northbound 167 this morning. I want to thank my listener, Josh, who let me know we now have a second issue. Not only do we have this conked out car near Main Street that is blocking the right lane, but we now have something in the express toll lane, which is blocked a little bit near 15th Northwest. So that's why we're super slow getting into and through the Auburn area on the Valley Freeway. We're well over 50 minutes, maybe even closer to an hour to make that drive from Puyallup up into Renton. And then you're greeted with about a 30-minute trip from Renton to Bellevue, as we're definitely bogging down through those S-curves. Coming up from the south end, we've got Olympia to Tacoma, a little over 40 minutes, and then Federal Way to Seattle's over 50. So not exactly a great day coming up from the south end. Out of the north end, boy, we're back to what we expect with Revive I-5. It's up to an hour and 10 minutes now from Everett into Seattle, about an hour from Everett to Bellevue. And
it's a reminder that, yes, it doesn't get there very often, and only when it really has to.
Already $15 coming down out of the Linwood area in the express toll lane on 405. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 7:04. Tukwila City Council has outlawed camping on city property in order to stop homeless encampments.
Violators face jail time and a $1,000 fine. We get the details live from KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
Yeah, it was a close one. 4-3 was the vote. During public comment, plenty of people were against the ordinance.
There is no question this ordinance makes homelessness a crime.
A homeless person living in a tent is just trying to survive. Homelessness is not a crime.
It's offensive to hear people stigmatize and stereotype homeless people as if they're all drug users and traffickers. Tukwila is better than this. Please vote no on this ordinance.
The new law makes it illegal to camp on city property, including parks and sidewalks, making it a misdemeanor with up to 90 days in jail and that $1,000 fine. Police will still offer shelter referrals before enforcing the law, they say. And of course, there were plenty of supporters for the ordinance as well.
We need to make our parks equitable and safe for all. And when you allow and permit safe tents to pitch wherever you want, it just encourages a constellation of bad things.
It's not uncommon for those camping to possess weapons, including guns and machetes. I encourage your support of a camping ban ordinance.
And then there were people who reminded city council members about a boy named Robert, the boy living in a tent in Seattle that, Charlie, you covered quite extensively in recent months.
His mother frequently left him alone while she went to Aurora Avenue to feed her addiction. Staying in their tent simply prolonged her drug usage and exposed Robert to all sorts of atrocities, with piles of trash everywhere, bottles of urine everywhere.
As supporters of the ordinance also point to damage being done to parks in Tukwila and some $300,000 in annual cleanup costs there. Opponents say, though, look, there is not enough shelter space and adding criminal records to vulnerable people is not the answer. City council members on both sides said they will revisit the ordinance if it proves harmful or ineffective. Fair to say, Charlie and Manda, a lot of other cities and areas and counties are probably watching this very closely to see how it all plays out.
Luke Ducey reporting live. It's 7:06.
A heat advisory from the National Weather Service takes effect this morning at 10 o'clock for the greater Seattle area. It runs through 11 tomorrow night. See temperatures in the 90s both days, prompting these familiar reminders from forecaster Jacob DeFlitch.
It's going to remain important to drink a lot of fluids, stay in air-conditioned rooms as much as you can, and staying out of the sun, and also checking up on your neighbors and relatives during this period, because this is going to be a hot stretch coming up for us.
The temperatures will not be record-setting unless we hit 96 today and 98 tomorrow.
Wildfire smoke from Washington, Oregon, and British Columbia will be blowing into the Puget Sound region over the next couple of days.
We're expecting to see some hazy skies as the smoke moves in higher up. Down on the ground, we might be able to smell some smoke. I'm expecting it to not be too much worse than that, maybe into the moderate. There could be some higher levels for some short periods of time, but it shouldn't be worse than that.
Phil Swarzenjuber with the Puget Sound Clean Air Agency says we won't see conditions as bad as other parts of the country.
Puget Sound Energy is about to put its new Flex program to the test for the first time. PSE rolled out the program last month to encourage customers to cut back when the power grid is under extra stress. Today's heat is triggering the first Flex event.
From 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., the 640,000 PSE customers enrolled in the program can earn bill credits ranging from 25 cents to $3.
When you have that many people making a small adjustment, it really makes a difference in
the stress on the grid and lightening the load a bit.
PSE's Melanie Kuhn says those small adjustments could include bumping up your thermostat a couple of degrees, grilling outside instead of using the oven, or changing the time you wash your dishes or do your laundry. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
A new look at IRS migration records shows King County is still losing residents, but many are just moving next door. Here's KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gishard. The IRS data is based on tax return address changes. Snohomish County attracts the largest share of movers, with Pierce and Kitsap counties close behind. Thurston County and Whatcom County are the ones seeing significant gains from King County residents. Trend points to one major factor: housing costs.
Keeping you informed since 1974. You're listening to Seattle's Morning News.
It's 7:08. It is Tuesday, July 21st. It's going to be a hot day.
Yeah, for sure. One of those days you just kind of want to take it easy. Well, thanks for being here with us. That's Manda Factor. I'm Charlie Harger. Sully is there. What's your go-to tip for staying cool in hot weather, Sully?
Well, usually wait for the hottest part of the day, then go out for a run.
That's what I do.
I'm the guy who's going out for a run.
Sully is known
I used
for
to
it.
do that. Not so. Maybe I should anymore. I would recommend on the hottest day so far of the year, go get a physical.
Oh,
because that's what I'm doing later this afternoon. No, my typical go-to would be like go hide in the basement, go in the garage where just make sure you close all the windows as soon as you get home, or block them out. We're early morning people, like middle of the night get to workers, so all of our dark out shades probably don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
But that's a good way to try to keep it cool most of the day so it doesn't heat up as much.
Okay, you'll be cooling off at Moon River a little bit later today.
Yes, I will. Good. Oh, wow, that's well played.
Coming up on this hour of the show, News Nation host Leland Vitter will join us with his analysis of the U.S. attacks on Iran, what he's looking for out ahead of the midterms.
What's coming up in the 7:35 commentary?
Butter was going to kill us, then margarine was. Now they're saying 5 cups of coffee a day is fine. I'll channel my inner Andy Rooney at 7:35.
It's 7:10. A Washington state trooper accused of stalking his ex-girlfriend may lose his peace officer's license. KIRO 7 TV's Nia Bliss has the latest on Trooper James Arnold.
Jim Johansson is the attorney for Trooper Arnold in his criminal case.
This was a relationship that went bad,
in which charging documents say Arnold has told his ex that he is willing to commit acts of violence and that he once threatened to shoot her dog.
which just aren't true.
We reached out to Arnold's ex-girlfriend listed in court records and have not heard back from her. When it comes to Trooper Arnold's criminal case, his trial is set for October.
A bizarre and violent domestic violence case in Roy has landed a 46-year-old woman in the Pierce County Jail.
We have an adult daughter who's suffering from a mental health crisis, who's attempting to kill family members.
Police say her mother then ran next door to call for help.
And while she was with the neighbor, that's when the adult daughter had jumped into that vehicle nude and tried to run them both over.
She missed, but sadly investigators say the suspect ran over her mother's dog. The Pierce County Sheriff's Office says when a suspect is clearly exhibiting a mental health crisis, they evaluate the dangers at hand.
That was KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman reporting.
A military veteran in Graham will have to wait to sell his home after Pierce County deputies say more than 20 juveniles broke into the vacant house listed for sale and vandalized it from top to bottom.
Deputies were called to the home late Saturday night. When they arrived, every single wall in the house, the pantry, even the exterior and the deck had been spray painted. Windows were broken and holes were knocked through the drywall. Pierce County Deputy Carly Capetto says damage is estimated at $50,000.
The house was getting ready to close in about 2 weeks. So this is pretty devastating for this family.
23 juveniles were detained at the home. All are expected to be charged with residential burglary and malicious mischief. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
The big dumper broke out of his funk in a grand way last night.
Here's the pitch. Swung on and destroyed. It's on its way. Upper deck just short. Going sail away. Grand slam. Cal Rowley.
That's how you do it. Mariners won over the Reds 8-0. The grand slam was Raleigh's 10th home run of the year, his 6th career grand slam. Let's hope that's a sign of the things to come. Cal and the BMs take on the Reds tonight at 6:40 on 710 Seattle Sports.
All right, it's 7:12, and that's time for a check on the weather. Nick Gallard, it's about to heat up around here.
It is. We're going to get to the low 90s. I mean, we're in the 60s now, and I have us at 90 in Seattle. I have you at about, say, 95 or so in Olympia and around Chehalis, 93 in Tacoma. So just some real heat today. Now, for tomorrow, I think it gets even hotter in the low to mid 90s, about 93 potentially in Seattle, and maybe 97, 98 around Olympia, Chehalis, 94, 95 in Tacoma. And to add to that, today, I think we're going to have not only high clouds, but even smoke and haze. We have some now, and I think you'll continue to see some of that, and we'll see it tomorrow until late when air quality begins to improve. And I think the air quality will be lowest around the Cascade foothills and around, say, areas in Whatcom and Skagit County. Everybody, though, will see the haze, and we'll probably have a reduction area-wide, at least to moderate air quality, with unhealthy for sensitive groups or lower in the foothills. But tomorrow night into Thursday, it does get better, and I think that's going to lead to some much cooler weather on Thursday, more clouds, even maybe a couple of showers or a thunderstorm or two in the 70s before we really change things up and go mid-70s for the weekend with a lot more cloud cover. But heat, and haze, and with the haze, it probably will even be a little bit difficult to tell the difference between the high clouds and the haze at times, so it's just going to be an interesting day.
Interesting. That's one way to put it.
With air quotes. You can use air quotes. I allow you. It's all right.
Thanks, Nick. It's 66 in the sunshine right now.
It's time to check traffic now. We do that every 10 minutes with Chris Sullivan.
A little positive news for those of you stuck trying to get into the Highway 18 interchange of northbound 167. The two crashes, the stalls, whatever they were, are basically being taken care of. The first one that had that car with its hood up there near Main Street appears to be up on a tow now and hopefully out of the way, so no longer blocking. And whatever was in the express toll lane a little closer to 15th Northwest is now off to the left shoulder. State troopers still there with it. But overall, we got about a 50-minute trip total from Puyallup up into Renton. Then the Renton S-curves are very active, very slow up past SR 900 before easing off. Give yourself a half an hour to make that drive. Federal Way to Seattle, definitely 50 minutes. The heavy braking there begins at the beginnings of Boeing Field, goes up past the West Seattle Bridge. And boy, out of the north end, not a pretty day. Already up over an hour and 10 minutes to make it from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, 50 of those minutes away from Linwood. So Revive I-5 is back with a vengeance. This report brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. Is the AC not working? Well, don't assume the worst. Home Comfort Alliance repairs first, only replaces if needed. Get a real pricing quote in 60 seconds at homecomfortalliance.com.
Seattle's morning news. Always live, always connected. Stream, watch, subscribe, and share at mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. It's 7:15. A bill allowing more sea lions to be killed to protect endangered salmon gets a congressional hearing this morning. Washington Republican Michael Baumgartner and Democrat Emily Randall introduced the measure. Baumgartner spoke at a hearing last December about the need to remove more sea lions.
It's nothing against the sea lions. Salmon are tasty. If I was out there, I'd eat them as well, too. But we have to give folks the tools to reduce these populations.
But California Democrat Jared Huffman says protecting one species by killing another is not conservation.
If killing even more sea lions than we already allow, and I support the targeted science-based intervention that we allow right now under current authority, but if that's the only thing you'll do for salmon, you're missing it.
A hearing is set for 11 a.m. Seattle time.
It's now 7:16. Every Tuesday, we chat with News Nation's Leland Vittert, host of On Balance, which airs on News Nation weeknights at 6 o'clock our time.
A lot to discuss this morning with Leland. This war has really heated up in the past several days, with the U.S. continuing to pound Iran and Iran striking our different bases across the Middle East. Leland, what are some of your big takeaways?
Hey, gents. And ladies,
thank you.
my biggest takeaway is that President Trump has yet to change the Iranians' calculus, and by that I mean, so far Central Command keeps putting out statements about targeting Iran's military ability to harass ships in the Strait of Hormuz. The Iranians don't care about that. Clearly, we have seen that. Clearly, the Iranians have not, in the words of J.D. Vance, turned over a new leaf. So therefore, somehow there must be something done. If Trump wants a different response from the Iranians, something has to be done at the strategic level, not at the tactical level militarily.
Any new thoughts on an exit strategy?
Well, the easiest thing to do when you're walking through hell is to keep going. The exit strategy has to be that the Iranians are put in such existential danger that they are willing to negotiate in good faith and actually live up to their deals, or the regime falls. Those are the only ways you are going to get something different. And we know that because the Iranians were given the sweetheart of sweetheart deals with the Memorandum of Understanding. J.D. Vance said they've turned over a new leaf, on and on and on. Shia Islam has not turned over a new leaf in 1,400 years. The Iranians are going to cheat, they are going to lie, and they are going to continue to push day in and day out to get better deals because they think the United States is weak. And in the same way, Barack Obama lost credibility when he didn't enforce his red line. In the same way, Joe Biden lost credibility when he said about Vladimir Putin invading Ukraine, don't. And then this man has got to go. He lost credibility after that. Donald Trump's losing credibility now.
Do you think the administration fully appreciated the amount of pain the Iranians are willing to endure in order to get what they want?
Well, the Iranians are willing to endure unlimited pain on behalf of their people, right? They do not care what their people go through. Pain and suffering in Shia Islam is seen as proof of their righteousness. So they're happy to have their people die and starve and beat their women and execute and rape young women before they execute them and everything else. That's who the Iranian regime is. The one question that is different is that if the existence of the Islamic regime is threatened by taking out the Baji militia sites, by eliminating their ability to project force internally, and by cutting off their supply of money that they use to pay everybody off, and by cutting off their supply lines through Pakistan, then will they be willing to negotiate because they'd rather live to fight another day 10 years from now? That's possible.
Leland, since we last spoke, in the middle of everything that's going on, the president gave a primetime address to the nation. Topic number one was the 2020 presidential race. Why? What were your takeaways?
My biggest takeaway is that Xi Jinping is still coming in September. This was a president who got up and said, the Chinese have done some really horrible things, and he called them out, which, by the way, he's correct on. We should not sit by while a foreign power actively stokes racial divisions in America on social media. We should not sit idly by while a foreign power actively tries to gather the information that it would need to undermine or to cheat in our elections. We should not sit idly by while a foreign power tries to blackmail U.S. officials. I could go on. But yet, after this whole speech, President Trump basically said, okay, what's next? There was no or else with the Chinese, and that seemed to me to be the really lacking part.
Am I wrong in thinking this is a missed opportunity to maybe address the economy and affordability?
Well, I think you're wrong in that it's July and nobody's paying attention. The president giving a primetime address on the economy and affordability is not the same as him giving a primetime address on the elections. And the networks would rightly say, why are you talking about affordability? Go hold a rally. The idea of a primetime address is to speak to the nation about a grave issue of interest to all at a specific moment that it is needed at this moment, which is why when he announced it on a Monday and gave it on a Thursday, it was so odd. So I think, is what you're asking, or if what you're asking is, would the American people be more interested in what the president said on affordability than on the issue of Chinese interference in our elections? Probably. But that really wasn't what he was going to do then.
Just about out of time, Leland, but I wanted to ask you about the arrest of Andrew and Tristan Tate. You call them manosphere spirit animals. Can you explain?
Sure. These are guys who are some of the most awful human beings on earth. They're accused credibly and in multiple countries of raping women, beating them, choking them, exploiting them for sex. They sold what they called courses online about how to basically bully one's girlfriend into becoming a porn actress, and so that the boyfriend could monetize things. Horrible human beings. They have been arrested in the United States on British arrest warrants for sexual assault, and they're now asking Marco Rubio to save them from extradition because they claim that really the only reason anybody doesn't like them is free speech, which is just utterly contemptuous. What's interesting, I think, in the larger sense is how the same crew that really embraced Andrew and Tristan Tate, people like Tucker Carlson, the UFC crowd, they are the same people who J.D. Vance is now feeling is the future of the Republican Party, this sort of very online, manosphere, magasphere, America First crew. The fact that they are not now, that crew is sort of abandoning the Tate brothers, I think speaks volumes.
You can find out more. The War Notes newsletter, there's a new place or reason you want to sign up for it again, right, Leland? You're on Substack now?
Yeah, so we moved War Notes to Substack, and every day that we do the show, we do a video that comes out about 12:30 Eastern every day that gives everybody like the very first look at our editorial thoughts after we get out of the editorial meeting. So a few interesting things, a bunch of cool new features coming. So warnotes.com to subscribe for free.
All right, News Nation host of On Balance, Leland Vittert, 6 o'clock weeknights. Leland, thanks. We'll check in with you soon. It's 7:23. We need to check traffic with Sully.
And we are looking at heavy braking still in and out of the Auburn interchange on northbound 167 because of a couple of earlier crashes. One was in the right lane, another one in the express toll lane. They're both clear, but we have a 50-minute trip from Puyallup up into Renton. Then Renton to Bellevue is about a half an hour. Better way to Seattle's now up to an hour as we see brake lights meandering up past the Kent Des Moines Road and then really intensifying past the West Seattle Bridge, but nothing out of line for a Tuesday. Olympia to Tacoma is about 35 minutes. Out of the north end now, we're up to an hour and 20 minutes from Everett to Bellevue with an hour alone just from Linwood, bumper to bumper from Linwood down through 522. For 5-5, it's not bad till you get down to about 175th and Shoreline. We've got about an hour and 10-minute trip from Everett to Seattle, so a little bit better on I-5 than 405, but better is me using Nick Allard air quotes because that's going to be a tough day for you guys. The lake bridges, though, are fine. This report brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Don't miss the biggest event of the year at T-Mobile Park, 50 Season Celebration Night, August 8th, presented by Daktronics. Get your tickets, mariners.com.
Hazy and hot today, low 90s today, mid 90s possible tomorrow. We'll cool back down to the upper 70s on Thursday. Right now in Seattle, it's 64.
Charlie, what's coming up on the 7:35 commentary?
I'm going to channel my inner Andy Rooney for a moment, and we're going to talk about the food pyramid and how something has changed yet again. Okay, I'll get off my high horse.
I was going to say you're kind of fired up about it, huh?
Just a little bit. It's probably all the coffee.
All right. Also, KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey will have much more on the heat advisory taking effect at 10 this morning. You're listening to Seattle's Morning News.
We're here for Closets by Design. If you have to park in your driveway because you can't use your garage, well, that's where Closets by Design comes in because they do so much more than just closets. Pantries, laundry rooms, home offices, wall beds, garages, all custom built, nothing off the shelf. It is all custom designed and built in Kent. Everything finally has a place. Limited time, 40% off, plus an additional 15% off and 18 months at 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
This hour is brought to you by CM Heating.
Subscribe to the Jake and Spike YouTube channel and watch live or later.
Did you hear that restaurant in the CID? Conditions are so bad, it is not feasible for them to stay open during the weekdays and only during the weekends.
Crime, street life, drug use. If only there were an elected official.
Like a mayor?
Maybe a council of these elected officials. And maybe these concerns could be brought to them.
This should scare them. I mean, I know we're being tongue-in-cheek.
It should.
But Jake and Spike, weekdays noon to 3 on KIRO Newsradio.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto
Summer's
Repair
here, and it's the perfect time to tell you that
has brought you some of the best. I'll tell you what. My copy just went away, so I'm just going to tell you about my own personal experience I had to Bucky's. I went to Bucky's on my own up in the Linwood area. Didn't tell them who I was, didn't tell them that they advertise on the station. I had an AC problem. Not my AC joint, but my AC, like air conditioning. And I went in there and I was like, guys, can you check this thing out for me? And they said, okay. I was in and out in 3 hours. just walking in unannounced. And that's the thing. They don't take appointments. They had easy financing if I couldn't afford it, but it was a pretty reasonable deal. And they didn't do what a lot of shops do, which is upsell me. They didn't go, well, you need to do this. Well, your tires look bad. Well, you probably should check this. No, they just fixed the problem and then they moved on. It was great. The folks up at Buc-ee's make life really easy. They make auto care simple, and you get a full detailed Carfax update from these guys as well. Go check them out. I did it. Didn't tell them who I was. Got treated great. Visit Buc-ee's.com today and drive with confidence.
Summer's here, and it's the perfect time to tell you that Integrity Roofing and Construction has been serving and supporting our Puget Sound communities for 10 years. If your roof is aging, storm damaged, or just ready for an upgrade, now's the perfect time to schedule your free consultation. With products that last longer and perform better, Integrity's team brings full transparency so you know exactly what your home needs before you spend a dime. And Integrity has locations from Issaquah to Sequim to Everett and Gig Harbor. Visit IntegrityRC.com. That's IntegrityRC.com right now. Integrity Roofing and Construction, where doing the right thing matters.
You're in charge of ordering boxes. Small boxes, really big boxes. You're in charge of tape, labels, mailers, bubble wrap, extra bubble wrap, just for fun. You're in charge of warehouse cleaning and safety supplies. Good thing there's Uline. Thousands of quality products for your business and warehouse needs, always in stock, ready to ship same day, and backed by Uline's legendary 24/7 customer service. Uline makes it easy because you already do enough. Uline, we warehouse for you.
The Black Crowes, live in the Tulalip Amphitheater, Sunday, August 30th. Tickets are on sale now. Details at TulalipCasino.com.
Hey fans, it's Rick Riz. I love making exciting calls every night, but there's a call I'm really excited to make in just days, when I can say goodbye glasses. I'm having refractive lens exchange, RLE from K2 Vision, to get rid of readers, glasses, and contacts, plus I'll never get a cataract. For decades I've had to call ball games using readers to see my notes, then over them to see the field. On and off. It was brutal. But no more. K2 Vision RLE is my permanent solution to a lifetime of great vision. Holy smokes! Talk about experienced veterans. The K2 Vision RLA team has done over 150,000 lens procedures. I trust their stuff and them. Stay tuned. I'll keep you posted on my results. So enjoy life with no readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts. Get your free Zoom consult now at K2VisionRLE.com. Then you can make the call. Goodbye glasses. K2VisionRLE.com.
There couldn't be a better time to save money, and one of the easiest ways to save?
Take the First Mark Challenge.
Molly and I took the First Mark Insurance Challenge, and we saved thousands of dollars the first year with First Mark, and we've been saving ever since.
Same for Mike and I. Here's how First Mark Insurance works for you, not the insurance companies.
They compare rates and coverage from dozens of the top-rated carriers. Then they go to work to find the right coverage at the lowest possible price for your family.
And when you need them, you'll talk to a real person who knows you and who's there to help. That's the kind of world-class service that has kept us with First Mark year after year.
Seriously, wouldn't you like to know if you could be paying less? Take the First Mark Challenge today. It costs you nothing. There's no obligation, and you'll find out just how much money you could be saving every single month.
You could be the next First Mark Challenge victory. They've had over 11,000 of them.
Don't give your insurance company a free raise before you renew. Let First Mark review. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
What are you waiting for? Your savings could start tomorrow.
Firstmarkinsurance.com.
Your old water heater's starting to peter.
DayandNight.net. Day and Night has $150 off installation of any new water heater, including tankless, backed by a free lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Bruce. When your old water heater leaks or fails, the damage could be catastrophic. Whether you need an emergency replacement or you're planning ahead before it leaks, give us a call and we'll help you get into hot water again.
Get $150 off installation of any new water heater.
DayandNight.net. Spike O'Neill here. If your loved one's caregiver is planning a vacation or just needs a break, why not consider Aegis Living Respite Care? A short-term stay that provides 24/7 expert care, Aegis Living amenities, and peace of mind for you and your family. Go to aegisliving.com/spike to schedule a visit today.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 7:31. Well, today and tomorrow could be the hottest days of the year in the Seattle area. Temperatures expected to pass 90 degrees.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with more on what to expect.
We'll expect a heat advisory to go into effect a little bit from now, 10 a.m. this morning, and last through Wednesday at 11 p.m. The National Weather Service says we can expect temps up to 90 degrees today in the greater Seattle area. Then tomorrow, they're projecting 92 degrees at SeaTac, which is where most meteorologists look for a kind of baseline temperature. Here's National Weather Service forecaster Jacob DeFlitch.
Just a few days stretch here, Tuesday and Wednesday, and even a Thursday, we still remain quite warm in the mid to upper 80s across the Seattle metro area. So we have a consecutive period of 2 to 3 days. So that's where our concern lies with a lot of the heat-related impacts.
So why? Why do we have a heat wave? Well, because those westerly winds that we count on, nature's air conditioning, have died down for the next couple of days, taking a little summer vacation of their own. They'll be back Wednesday night, though. Phil Schwarzenegger with the Puget Sound Clean Air Agency says we could also see some wildfire smoke down from British Columbia creeping into areas north of Seattle.
We're expecting smoke to move in. Most of the smoke's going to be higher up, so the skies are probably going to look hazy. We expect some of that smoke to get down to the ground, but at this point, I don't think it should be too bad. I think we should be in the moderate. Some places might get worse than that for a short bit.
So you might smell smoke. It won't be dangerous, though, not like what we've seen in other parts of the country, especially out east. Also, you won't see any record temperatures, which are 96 degrees set on July 21st, 2006, and 98 degrees set back on July 22nd, 2009. Now, the usual reminders and precautions apply. Hydrate, drink a lot of water, wear sunscreen, don't exercise outdoors at the height of the afternoon, don't leave kids or pets in a parked car, and check on your older family members and neighbors.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be yacht rock this morning. I always think of that song, Chicago. It was Hot Day, July 4th. The next line of that is Man Selling Ice Cream, over there. And
did you have to qualify? I thought you were going to say don't exercise, period. And I was going to heed your advice.
You know what? The height of the afternoon really means all day. It really. So, by the way, the normal high is 78.
Oh,
and
which
we're
is perfect.
We're 15 degrees above that. So,
Luke
stay
Ducey
cool.
reporting live. Time to check traffic now. Here's Sully.
Where we're feeling stronger every day on the traffic desk. Looking at Federal Way to Seattle of about an hour drive now, with 30 of those minutes from the South Center getting stared at by Luke, appropriately so. 35 minutes from South Center up into downtown. Really heavy past the West Seattle Bridge. Northbound 167 continues to struggle in and around Auburn. We had a couple little issues there. About a 50-minute trip, maybe 55 now from Puyallup to Renton, with more brake lights at the north end part as well. And then Renton to Bellevue's over a half an hour. Lake bridges are still good, but boy, coming down from the north end, it's another Revive I-5, heavy Tuesday. Hour and 20 to an hour and 25 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, with an hour plus just away from Linwood. So it is going to be a tough day for you guys. This report brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio app. Text app to 888-973-5476. Download the KIRO Newsradio app. Listen to your favorite shows. Get the latest news and updates right to your phone.
Our forecast again, hazy and hot today and tomorrow. 90 today, 93 tomorrow, and then we'll get a break on Thursday. Cooling down to about 79, a few showers, and maybe some thunder showers too. Right now, it's sunny and 65 in Seattle.
Seattle's morning news on KIRO News Radio.
It's time for the 7:35 commentary. Go look in your kitchen cabinet. Somewhere in there, behind the vitamins you stopped taking, is a bottle of fish oil. You remember buying it. You don't remember why. Somebody told you it was good for you and you believe them, which is apparently the only qualification anybody needs. They're telling us something different about fish oil now. I'll get to that. The American Heart Association came out yesterday and said 5 cups of coffee a day is safe for most adults. 3 to 5 cups is now linked to a lower risk of heart disease, stroke, heart failure, diabetes. Remember how coffee used to be bad for you? High blood pressure, dehydration, acid in a cup. That was a whole story for years. Now, the fine print, because there's always fine print, they mean coffee without added sugar. So the venti caramel situation you've got going, that doesn't count. And energy drinks, not so much. Coffee, good. Tall can with lightning bolt, bad. Remember the food pyramid? Bread and pasta and rice at the bottom, 6 to 11 servings a day. 11 servings of bread. We felt good about it and patted ourselves on the back. Then they took the pyramid down. South Park called it.
The pyramid doesn't work. We've already tried it.
It's upside down.
What?
Sir, the pyramid is upside down.
Turn the pyramid upside down.
You can't be serious. That would put butter and fat at the top
Flip the damn food pyramid!
This is not FDA approved.
And did you ever notice how nobody apologizes for the butter? Butter was poison. Switch to margarine, they told us. That was a full public health campaign with commercials and a tub of something called I Can't Believe It's Not Butter in every refrigerator in America. Then margarine turned out to be a country crock loaded with trans fats, at least back then, which were worse than the thing we stopped eating. So butter's back. And now people put butter in their coffee, which means two separate substances that were once going to kill us have been combined into a wellness beverage. Eggs were a breakfast staple. Then eggs were a ticking time bomb for your heart. Now eggs are a protein-packed superfood. Red wine was terrible. Then it was medicine. There's a thing called the French paradox, and it was the cover of magazines and people started drinking Merlot at night for their hearts. Now the World Health Organization says there's no safe level of alcohol at all. None. Zero. The corkscrew giveth, the corkscrew taketh away. Diet Coke used to be a responsible choice, the thing you ordered to balance out the burger. Now people call them fridge cigs. Rough stretch for a drink whose entire personality was being the healthy one. Which brings us back to that fish oil in your cabinet. This spring, researchers found that one of the two main omega-3s in that capsule may interfere with the brain's ability to repair itself after head injuries in mice. So now, no fish oil, I guess. And as long as I've lived, I've seen enough nicotine to come back all the way around. Wellness influencers are now pushing nicotine pouches as a focus aid. Tech companies are putting it in company office vending machines. Philip Morris, the tobacco company, is telling us nicotine is good for your brain, which is a thing tobacco companies have said before. We spent 50 years and a fortune getting people to quit nicotine, and we've also spent that time telling them not to rely on Philip Morris for medical tips. So here's my completely unscientific, deeply unqualified health advice. I don't have a medical degree. I do know, however, that science is supposed to evolve. The problem is that we treat every new study like a verdict, and the media, myself included, can't resist a headline announcing that the thing you enjoy is secretly killing you or saving you, depending on the year. So how about this? Everything in moderation. Eat a vegetable every once in a while. Go for a walk. Don't smoke, no matter what Philip Morris and a guy with 200,000 TikTok followers tells you about brain neuroplasticity. Maybe stop reading headlines about what's going to kill you. The stress alone can't be good for your heart. And that's the 7:35 commentary for Tuesday, July 21st, 2026. Text your thoughts to the Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line, 888-973-5476. We are on YouTube Live at KIRO Newsradio, and you can leave a comment at mynorthwest.com.
Why am I thinking about Fabio? Remember the I can't believe it's not butter commercials with Fabio?
Yeah. I've often been compared to Fabio.
Oh, sure you have.
Eric Cartman is never wrong about anything.
It's 7:40. Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we got a new crash to tell you about northbound 5 right at the Boeing Access Road. We'll break it down next.
Well, remember when you didn't have to think about energy? You just had it? Well, now it's the midday crash, the sleepless nights, the moments where you catch yourself thinking, what happened to me? Well, here's the thing. Nothing's wrong with you. Your hormones just stopped holding up their end of the deal. At Juvacor Health and Wellness Center, hormone replacement therapy isn't a guessing game. It starts with a real sit-down conversation with a female provider who has heard your story before because she hears it every single day. Dr. Lucy Hostetter is wonderful. She's board-certified physician. She has spent 7 years doing one thing exceptionally well. That is helping women feel like themselves again. Your treatment is built around your labs, your symptoms, and your life, not some cookie-cutter protocol. And the follow-up is real because feeling better should not be a one-appointment promise. Now they have 2 convenient locations, Tacoma and Bellevue. They expanded from their flagship home at Seattle Regenerative Medicine Center. Great care is now closer than ever. Don't Google symptoms at 2 a.m. Start a conversation with someone who actually has answers. Check out JuvaCoreHealth.com. That's JUVE corehealth.com and feel like yourself again.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Hey, when was the last time you inspected your crawl space or your attic? What's the last time you went in there just to see what kind of shape they're in? Oh, never? Yeah, same. I don't want to go in there. Most homeowners completely avoid those areas, but it is important to check on them regularly. It's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and go where you don't want to. Hey, it's Mike Salk here. And yes, when Crawl Pros came out to my place, they realized we had a little problem with our insulation. So they've set about fixing it, and they did a great job. But if you've got the same problem, they'll also look to see what kind of energy rebates are available. Right now, local utility companies are incentivizing homeowners to make their home more energy efficient with proper insulation. And some homes qualify for several $1,000s in savings with these utility rebate programs. So don't just assume your crawl space and attic are in great condition. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros today and schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection and find out if you've got water intrusion, mold, rodent issues, or even damaged insulation. Schedule your crawl space and attic inspection at crawlpros.com.
7:43 now. We check traffic on the threes with Sully.
And we got a couple new things to tell you about. The first one is this crash northbound I-5 right at just north of the Boeing Access Road as you're coming up there at the beginning of Boeing Field. It's over on the left shoulder now, just a little bit over the HOV lanes, so just expect a little bit of braking there as you come out of the Duwamish curb. It's not as bad as it could have been for a little bit. It was in one of the left general purpose lanes, so that's one of the reasons why we're up over an hour from Federal Way to Seattle. The other issue is for those of you trying to go through the construction zone on westbound I-90 right there at the main exit to Issaquah. There we have a kind of a stall on the ramp, which really wouldn't be that big of a deal, but because of all the construction and everything there, people are having to merge over into that right lane early to get around this. They're kind of having to go around the Gore Point there, so it's added a little extra mess there. Give yourself about probably 10 extra minutes to work your way through up towards Westlake Sammamish Parkway. Coming down from the north end, hour and 25-minute drives from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, 20 minutes delayed over what you might expect. Bumper to bumper on southbound I-5 from about 175th and Shoreline all the way down to 520. For I-405, it's really from Linwood all the way down through 522. Lake bridges, though, are still in very good shape. Valley Freeway, still about an hour. Olympia to Tacoma is not too bad overall. This report brought to you by 425 Magazine, the premier lifestyle publication for all the cities on Seattle's east side. Find out more at 425magazine.com.
Forecast calls for a high at 90 in Seattle today. Hotter in outlying areas with haze and smoke in spots. Tomorrow, even warmer, low to mid-90s. We cool off by Thursday with highs in the upper 70s. Right now in Seattle, it's 64.
It's 7:45. Sully, you have a choke point coming up.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at some upcoming closures in the Falls City area as a result of last winter's storms.
Word for Closets by Design. You ever have one of those mornings where you're already behind, you can't find what you need, closet's a mess, your pantry is overflowing, you can't even use your garage, you're not doing anything wrong. Most homes just weren't set up to work the way we actually live. Closets by Design isn't just closets. It's garage where you can finally park your car, a pantry you could actually use, laundry rooms, home offices, wall beds, entertainment centers, mudrooms. They do everything. All custom built in Kent, and it's designed for your home. Nothing off a shelf. Nothing is pre-made there. When things are designed right, your day just goes smoother with less clutter and frustration because everything finally has a place. Right now, for a limited time, you can get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months of 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to get your project started today.
Everyone always asks me, what were your top reasons for choosing Advanced Hair? Well, allow me to share, along with some details, on, get this, their once-a-year summer savings event. Okay, first off, Advanced Hair stands by the results, and I'm living proof those results are second to none. With Advanced Hair, your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. Secondly, Advanced Hair combines top-rated physicians with modern technology, creating a concierge quality experience that blew away my expectations. And lastly, Advanced Hair's Advanced FUE begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. It is quick, simple, and easy. Now, if you have a flexible schedule this summer and you've been waiting for that special savings opportunity, well, it's here. Advanced Hair's Summer Savings Event will get you the most hair for your dollar. It's their best offer ever. For details to schedule your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. Your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
Did you know that 4,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in Washington state? I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda with Northwest Hope and Healing. We provide financial support for breast and gynecologic cancer patients in our community. Join us at Life in Color, a summer brunch, auction, and fashion show on August 23rd at the Somme Hotel in Woodinville for an unforgettable afternoon of inspiration. Get your tickets now for Life in Color on August 23rd at nwhopeandhealing.org. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Let's go!
Now, Choke Points with Chris Solomon.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
7:48 now. The state is still making repairs to roads and bridges after those devastating floods over the last year.
The work is moving to Highway 202 near Falls City this week, and this is going to create quite the detour for people trying to get around the area, Sully.
That's because the Snoqualmie River really came close to taking out SR 202 in Falls City. The raging water nearly undercut the road just east of the roundabout where 202 and 203 converge.
This area has experienced erosion in the past, but the recent storms from December and March significantly accelerated the erosion at that location, so much so that the distance between the riverbank and the highway lost about 15 feet.
The Washington Department of Transportation's Elizabeth Mount says they need to go in there now and protect the road.
It created an urgent need to stabilize the embankment and protect SR 202 before the next rainy season.
As you can see on our YouTube live feed, our producer David's putting up some photos there from the Department of Transportation showing just exactly how close it came to the road and why they need to get up there. So starting tomorrow, work on those repairs will get underway. For the next couple of days, SR 202 will be down to alternating traffic in the area between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. so the contractor can set up a work zone, and then the road will be closed entirely for the weekend. SR 202 will be closed from 9 p.m. Friday to 5 a.m. Monday, right there just east of that roundabout. So local traffic will have access up to that closure point, but people trying to go through that area will face a 16-mile detour. You'll have to use Snoqualmie Parkway, I-90, and then the Preston Falls City Road to get around.
We really appreciate people understanding the emergency nature of this work and why it needs to happen, and recognize that this is going to put a damper on some people's days with that extra travel time, but it's really important that it gets done.
You should expect 45-minute delays at a minimum, and with people with games at the Preston Park Fields, that's what you drive by there. As you see over, it's always packed. Lots and lots of soccer always going on, lots and lots of events. So if you're heading to that and you're not even using 202, you should expect a lot of extra congestion there and company for the weekend. Mount says they need to get a giant crane on the road so they can move some massive logs into place to stabilize the embankment.
They're going to take large logs and sort of jam them into the embankment and use that as a base to rebuild. They're going to then take other woody material, boulders, rocks, and sort of build up that embankment.
And then they're going to backfill with all sorts of other material to kind of strengthen it and make sure that there's enough support there for the roadway. They should also expect some impacts if you plan to use the Snoqualmie River during this work. You might come out and find your boat launch is blocked in and around that area because they're doing some in-water work there as well. So that, again, that one's going to be kind of hit or miss depending on what you go or where where you go or what you do in the water there. And this is just the first of 2 weekends of closures. The contractor will be back the weekend after Seafair with an even longer closure.
There will be a second weekend closure. It'll be a little bit more significant as far as the timeline. It'll be Thursday, 9 p.m. Thursday to 9 p.m. Monday. And that'll happen in 2 weeks. So think about those dates as well coming up while you're making any sort of weekend travel plans for early August.
And that is the weekend that starts Thursday. If you take Thursdays as the start of a weekend, I like that. August 6th through Monday, August 10th. And again, that will be a Friday impact as well and a full Monday impact for that weekend as they go in there and work on that embankment. About 10,000 drivers use this section of 202 every weekday. Weekend traffic volumes can vary, but this road is very well used on sunny summer weekends. And again, even for people not even going there, you're going to see a lot of extra activity on I-90 as people use that as a detour. So be prepared. The next couple of weekends are going to be very busy out there.
Yeah, Remlinger Farm has a concert on the 8th, and you have tens of thousands of people who head out for those. So something to plan for now.
Yeah, you'll be able to get to that from the north, but if you're coming from the west, you go through Snoqualmie to Falls City, you won't be able to do it that way. You're going to have to use I-90 to get around that. So definitely check the map, check with mynorthwest.com to get all the details as you prepare to head out and recreate over this weekend and then that one August 6th to 10th.
All right. As you prepare yourself for traffic coming up, I want to let you know that federal disaster recovery funding is coming to communities across the Northwest. FEMA has approved nearly $6 million for recovery projects in Washington, Oregon, and Alaska. In Washington, more than $829,000 will go to Swedish Health Services to reimburse emergency protective measures taken during the winter storms that hit the region in January of 2024. FEMA says the funding will also help repair infrastructure, restore public facilities, and strengthen communities against future disasters.
And the State Board of Education wants to overhaul what it takes to graduate high school in Washington. The Seattle Times reports the latest proposal drops the graduation pathways requirement and puts more emphasis on math. Students would still need 24 credits, but they'd spend more time choosing electives that match their plans after graduation. A task force has been working on this since 2025.
7:53 now. Sully is back with a look at traffic on the threes.
And things are getting worse in Issaquah. We've got up to about a 2-mile backup now, getting around the corner from High Point into Issaquah through the construction zone. What we have is a crash on the on-ramp from SR 900 to westbound I-90. Not at Front Street, but it's the next one up. But because the ramp is closed and they've got so much emergency vehicles there, everyone is having to merge over through the Gore Point. And so that means people are kind of having to jam in there through what is already a backed up corridor because of construction. So plan on at least another 15 minutes minimum if you're going through that. And please be careful as you're coming around the corner by Highlands. You're going to hit all stop really quickly. Let's not get any rear enders there because you're going a little too fast around that blind corner. Rest of the map, about what you'd expect as we're approaching 8 o'clock. We've got hour and 25-minute trips from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue with well over an hour away from Linwood. 99 southbound backed up from before the zoo all the way into South Lake Union. Looking at Olympia to Tacoma, not bad. And Federal Way to Seattle, about an hour. Just under an hour, Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue's behaving, and it's at 40 minutes. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube, click subscribe, and get fresh video content daily.
It's going to be hot today and tomorrow, and hazy too. Smoke from the wildfires. 90 for today, 93 tomorrow, and then we'll see a few showers on Thursday, likely, maybe even thunder showers, a high of 79. Weekend looks great. By Friday, we'll just see clouds in the morning, sunshine in the afternoon, and upper 70s. Right now, it's 65 in Seattle.
Coming up, Tukwila City Council has voted on whether to outlaw camping on city property to stop homeless encampments. KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey will have the results.
And the war with Iran and new tariffs on Canada. Our weekly conversation with New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold.
This is Seattle's Morning News.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you see this in your kitchen,
the stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, People are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Nearly 1 in 4 people killed on the road in Washington weren't driving. Pedestrians on our roads are incredibly vulnerable, whether they're facing drunk, drugged, drowsy, or distracted drivers. Pedestrians are defenseless on our streets. That's why Davis Law Group fights for pedestrian accident victims and their loved ones after a crash. Davis Law Group delivers. So if you or a loved one have been injured, call Davis Law Group today at 206-888-8888 or visit davislawgroupseattle.com.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Hey, Albert, can you help us plan and budget for a bathroom renovation?
I certainly can. Let me review your finances.
Who are you talking to?
Albert, my AI financial assistant that I can access right in the app. It automates all things finance, moves money, pays bills, creates personalized alerts, finds savings, and so much more.
Your bathroom renovation financial plan is ready. I found cash you can put aside, and to cover the rest, Albert can get you up to $10,000 fast.
Can you find contractors nearby within our budget?
Here's a list of contractors. Would you like help requesting a $10,000 loan for your bathroom renovation?
Yes! Download the Albert app and use promo code MULTIPLY to access Genius. Plus, get up to $10,000 for whatever you need. Just download the Albert app right now and use promo code MULTIPLY to get up to $10,000. That's promo code MULTIPLY.
The Boeing Classic welcomes the world's greatest golf legends to the Pacific Northwest, August 14th through the 16th at the Club at Snoqualmie Ridge. Watch Masters champions and Golf Hall of Famers compete for a $2.3 million purse at the only PGA Tour champion stop in the region. Bring the whole family and make sure to check out the Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit BoeingClassic.com to get yours today.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Workdays work better with food. And not just any food, the good stuff. That's why there's Easy Cater, the workplace food platform where you can order from a huge variety of great restaurants for any group size, anytime, anywhere, all in one place. Whether it's gourmet deli trays for the client meeting, spicy noodles for the night shift, tacos for the weekend crew, or a big box of brownies to tell your team, thank you. Just use Easy Cater, one platform to feed them all and feed them well. Start an order at easycater.com.
D.R. Horton's National Red Tag Sales Event is going on now through August 2nd. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. 1,000 flights have already been canceled for today as a large part of the Northeast faces a severe weather warning. Storms expected to bring heavy rain that could lead to flash flooding.
There will be rounds of them through the afternoon, but then the big line comes through tonight. I'd say after 5, 6 p.m. from west to east. We stopped at 8 p.m. New York City getting rocked, Philadelphia too. I want to just emphasize this is a damaging wind hazard.
ABC Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z. Tropical storm Bertha churning in the Gulf Coast. That storm expected to reach land in southeast Louisiana late tomorrow or early Thursday. President Trump reigniting the trade war with Canada, slapping an additional 50% tariff on certain Canadian products in retaliation, the White House says, for discriminatory tariffs on U.S. cars, alcohol, and dairy products. Another night of airstrikes across the Middle East, sirens sounding in Bahrain, Kuwait, and Jordan, and the U.S. and Iran trading fire for a 10th consecutive night. This is ABC News. The intense competition among the makers of popular GLP-1 drugs has now spilled over into the courtroom. Here's ABC's Jim Ryan.
With so many people using the drugs, it's a bold claim to make.
People using Zepbound lost an average of 50 pounds compared to an average of 33 pounds with the Wegovy injection.
And one that the maker of Wegovy says is misleading. Novo Nordisk claims that Eli Lilly is using data based on the highest dose of Zepbound versus the lowest dose of Wegovy. The Danish drug maker wants a court to order Lilly to pull the ads and to issue what it calls corrective advertising. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
For the first time ever, Miami's cost of living is pushed past the cost of living in New York City. Miami most expensive in the country, followed by San Francisco and then New York. Sold for a record $3.75 million. The lightsaber from The Empire Strikes Back scene where Darth Vader cuts off Luke Skywalker's hand. The prop includes the lightsaber and the hand. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Mark Hamill is not going to be happy about that. It's 8:02. Here's what's happening.
A heat advisory takes effect at 10 o'clock this morning for greater Seattle. Highs could hit the low 90s.
10 large wildfires are burning across the state right now. One in southeast Washington is 28% contained, 34,000 acres, but the Maudrite fire in Ferry County has forced level 3 evacuations. Several structures have been lost.
A harbor seal pup rescued near Bellingham has died after vets found bullet fragments in its brain. State and federal officials are investigating.
And Timothy the raccoon getting an official Seattle City proclamation. Celebration set for Sunday at noon at Bergen Place Park in Ballard.
It's just about 8:03. That's time for a check on traffic. We do that every 10 minutes for you. Chris Sullivan, what's up?
Well, we got a pretty ugly situation in the Issaquah area. We're getting close to 2.5 miles, maybe a little bit longer worth of a backup on westbound I-90, just past 17th Ave. They're right there at SR 900 there as you work your way up towards Westlake Sammamish Parkway. What we have is a crash, a pretty nasty one, on the on-ramp to westbound I-90. But what this has done is because that ramp is closed, everyone who's getting on the freeway now has to merge really super early across the Gore Point, and they have just now blocked the right lane of westbound I-90. So those folks have to get over 2 lanes, and we are backed up well before the Highlands. And so if you're cruising at 70 miles an hour coming around that blind corner, you're going to run into an all-stop in a hurry. So start hitting your brakes as you work your way through that corridor. Looking at the rest of the map, about average. Heavy Tuesday, hour and 5 minutes. Puyallup to Renton, that's about a 15-minute delay. 35 of those minutes from Auburn. You will pick up the pace, though. Renton to Bellevue is under 40. Federal Way to Seattle, about an hour, and we're getting closer to an hour and a half from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue as we deal with the Revive I-5 work. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
It's 8:04 on the Tuesday, July 21st, 2026 edition of Seattle's Morning News. I'm Charlie Harger with Manda Factor.
Tukwila City Council has outlawed camping on city property in order to stop homeless encampments.
Violators face jail time and a $1,000 fine. Here's KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey with the story.
Yeah, the vote was a close one, 4-3 in favor of the ordinance. During public comment, plenty of people were against it.
There is no question this ordinance makes homelessness a crime.
A homeless person living in a tent is just trying to survive. Homelessness is not a crime.
It's offensive to hear people stigmatize and stereotype homeless people as if they're all drug users and traffickers. Tukwila is better than this. Please vote no on this ordinance.
Well, the new law makes it illegal to camp on city property, including parks and sidewalks, making it a misdemeanor with up to 90 days in jail and that $1,000 fine. Police are still going to offer shelters first, they say, though. That's the default before enforcing the law. Supporters of the ordinance, though, point to rampant drug use, violence, and crime in homeless encampments in their parks.
Those living in the parks sometimes believe they have the legal permission to stay and do not always accept the treatment offered. There can sometimes be large groups of 15 to 20 people actively using drugs, and drug dealers know this and come to serve these users.
Others, though, reminded city council members about a boy named Robert. Charlie, you know this story very well. You covered it extensively over the last few months. The boy living in a tent in Seattle.
His mother frequently left him alone while she went to Aurora Avenue to feed her addiction. Staying in their tent simply prolonged her drug usage and exposed Robert to all sorts of atrocities, with piles of trash everywhere, bottles of urine everywhere.
Supporters of the ordinance also point to damage being done to the parks and some $300,000 in annual cleanup costs in Tukwila. Opponents say, though, there isn't enough shelter space for people, and adding a criminal record to vulnerable people is not the answer. Council members on both sides of that vote, again 4-3, said they will revisit this ordinance if it proves harmful or ineffective. We'll keep watching it. Charlie, Manda?
Luke Ducey reporting live. It's 8:06.
Washington is battling 10 large wildfires across the state right now. The biggest is the Kaiser Canyon fire in Okanogan County. That's now nearly 63,000 acres, 0% contained. More than 1,000 people have been displaced, about 800 structures threatened, and 500 firefighters are on the fire lines. The Lyons Ferry fire in Adams, Franklin, and Whitman counties, that's burned more than 34,000 acres, now 28% contained. And the Maudwright fire in Ferry County has also grown to more than 6,400 acres. Level 3 evacuations and about 5 structures lost or damaged there.
Because of that, air quality could be an issue as winds push wildfire smoke into our region.
We're expecting smoke to move in. Most of the smoke's going to be higher up, so the skies are probably going to look hazy. We expect some of that smoke to get down to the ground, but at this point, I don't think it should be too bad. I think we should be in the moderate. Some places might get worse than that for a short bit.
Phil Swarzenjuber with the Puget Sound Clean Air Agency says you might smell smoke, but it won't be on the dangerous level we've seen in other parts of the country.
Puget Sound Energy will put its new Flex program to the test for the first time today. Between 5 and 8 p.m., the 640,000 customers enrolled in the program can earn bill credits from 25 cents to $3 just by making small changes, like bumping up the thermostat a couple degrees or firing up the grill instead of the oven. Melanie Kuhn with PSE says the heat will put extra strain on the system, but they can handle it.
You have a portfolio of different power sources to be able to maintain reliability. So this is just another tool in the toolbox.
And the hour with the heaviest demand for power is 6 to 7 p.m.
For over 50 years, this is Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Solian's just trying to keep the 6-7 thing alive.
I chose to ignore him.
If you're watching the YouTube live feed,
when was it going to be the most usage?
6 to 7.
Yeah, okay. He's making the 6-7 hand motion.
I hate it as much as everybody else, but I just can't let it go. I don't know.
You're keeping the dream alive. Well, that is Chris Sullivan. Manda Factor is here. Producer David Burbank. I think the show has long gone off the rails. Apologies for that, David.
It generally does, especially by 8 o'clock. I just sort of release desire.
I'm behaving.
You
now.
always do, man, and I appreciate that.
Well, we are in the thick of a summer right now. David, you thinking of fall? You look like you're thinking of fall. You got a cardigan over there.
Yeah, I get at this. It's funny. Springtime, I'm really looking forward to summer, and then by summertime, I'm already looking ahead to fall.
Keep your feet planted.
I'm a wistful man.
All right. Well, we have a lot of stuff coming up this hour, including hearing from New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold talking about Iran, tariffs on China, and also what's happening with the Lincoln Memorial Reflective Pool.
Also, G. Scott's going to stop by. The World Cup in Seattle is over, but it has had a lasting impact, especially when it comes to dating in the city. G has thoughts.
It's 8:09. A Washington state trooper accused of stalking his ex-girlfriend may lose his peace officer's license. KIRO 7 TV's Nia Bliss has the latest on Trooper James Arnold.
Jim Johansson is the attorney for Trooper Arnold in his criminal case.
This was a relationship that went bad,
in which charging documents say Arnold has told his ex that he is willing to commit acts of violence and that he once threatened to shoot her dog.
which just aren't true.
We reached out to Arnold's ex-girlfriend listed in court records and have not heard back from her. When it comes to Trooper Arnold's criminal case, his trial is set for October.
A woman is behind bars after deputies say she attacked her mother with a handsaw, then tried to run her over with a pickup. The Pierce County Sheriff's Office says the mother tried to escape to a neighbor's house to call 911 after her daughter took her phone. Then the daughter struck the mother and the family dog before taking off Friday.
Get out of the truck now!
The 46-year-old was completely naked, suffering from a mental health crisis. She now faces multiple counts of first-degree assault, along with eluding, resisting arrest, and other charges.
Pierce County deputies say a veteran's dream of selling his home was shattered by vandals over the weekend. Investigators say as many as 23 juveniles broke into the vacant Graham area house listed for sale. They threw a party. They tagged nearly every wall inside with spray paint. Windows were smashed, holes punched in walls, even the deck and utilities were damaged. Here's Pierce County Deputy Carly Capetto.
All 23 juveniles that were detained will be facing charges for residential burglary as well as malicious mischief.
The family was reportedly just 2 weeks away from closing on the sale of the house. Damage estimated at more than $50,000.
A family on Vashon Island is desperately searching for their 350-pound stolen pet pig. Fox 13 Seattle reports someone took the pig named Brita over the weekend. The owners believe the pig napping was carefully planned. When they came home from the Vashon Strawberry Festival over the weekend, they found a cut fence and hoof prints leading to tire tracks. They believe thieves used a trailer to haul Brita away. If you know anything, deputies would like to hear from you.
You say hoof.
Hooves?
Hoof.
Hoof.
It's like roof and roof. Neither is wrong.
I know.
Root and route.
I don't think I ever really know which way I say it until it appears in front of me.
Hoof prints.
Hoof prints.
I like it.
Okay.
You know who doesn't have hoof prints? It said paw prints.
Who?
Jimothy. The raccoon getting an official city proclamation. Councilmember Alexis Mercedes Rankin announced a celebration for Seattle's newest local icon. It's coming up this Sunday at Bergen Place Park near the Ballard Farmers Market. Artists are invited to bring Jimothy-themed artwork for a friendly art competition.
Good for Jimothy. The Mariners, 8-1 win last night against the Cincinnati Reds. Cal Raleigh put the game away in the 7th with this.
Here's the pitch. Swung on and destroyed. It's on its way. Upper deck just short. Going sail away. Grand slam. Cal Raleigh.
I may have misspoken. It was 8-0. They blanked them. Mariners now at a game above 500, and they play the Reds again today at T-Mobile. First pitch, 6:40. You can hear it on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports.
At 8:12, let's get a check on weather. Here's KIRO 7 meteorologist Nick Allard.
It's a pinpoint alert day today, and on this Tuesday, we're going to get some heat. Expect to find temperatures really warming up today. I'd say upwards of 90 in Seattle, 95 or so in Olympia, Chehalis, about 93 in Tacoma. I think you'll find a lot of haze, too, and high cloud cover, so it'll be hard to tell the difference at times. Look for moderate air quality for most of the area, but in the Cascade foothills and closer to Whatcom and Skagit County, air quality will be much lower. Tomorrow, it's the same idea, but a couple degrees warmer, and then I think you're going to find cooler weather Thursday, and that will lead to at least a few showers, maybe a stray isolated thunderstorm, better air quality in the 70s, and staying in the 70s for the weekend.
Yeah, it's already up to 75 in Moses Lake. Aberdeen checking in at 62, 66 here in Seattle.
8:13, time for a check on traffic once again. We do that every 10 minutes. Sully, is Issaquah still our big problem?
Yeah, it's still our biggest issue. So if you're heading over from, say, North Bend, Snoqualmie, trying to get into the Seattle area, you might want to delay your trip a little bit to try to just avoid sitting in probably a 20 to 25-minute delay. We have a 2.5 to 3 mile backup on westbound I-90 getting into and through Issaquah. What we have is a crash at the second Issaquah exit there at 17th, heading westbound. That's one where SR 900 comes on. And what it's done is it's blocked the ramp. A lot of emergency vehicles, a lot of ambulances and things involved in this. So the ramp is closed. So what that means is people coming on the freeway, they're still allowing them to do that, are now having to merge over really early through the painted gore point. And the right-hand lane that they're getting into is also blocked about 400 yards up the road. So really only 2 of the freeway lanes are open, plus that ramp is blocked. And a lot of the roads in and around the Costco and everything like that are really jammed up now because of this. So big-time delays into and through the Issaquah area. That's our one real issue. The rest of the map is just heavy. If you're coming up from Auburn, you've got a 35-minute trip to get you into Renton. That's 15 minutes behind schedule. Really heavy from 212th and Kent all the way up. It's well over an hour total. Then Renton to Bellevue is about 40 minutes. Hour Federal Way to Seattle's about average. A little over an hour and 25 minutes now from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue as we see the brake lights there right where you're used to them with Revive I-5. This report brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. AC not working? Don't assume the worst. Home Comfort Alliance repairs first, only replaces if necessary. Get a real pricing quote in 60 seconds. HomeComfortAlliance.com.
News matters. Experience counts. You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's Morning News.
Every Tuesday, we call up New York Times investigative reporter David Fahrenthold to talk about the big stories of the week. Good morning, David. Thanks for being here. The Iranian leadership this morning saying they are at full-scale war with the United States. What's your takeaway?
Well, I think this is a war that the Iranians clearly have decided that they can gain something from. That they kind of baited President Trump back into full-scale war. I think the Iranians feel like they benefit internally because it gives them an excuse to stamp out all repression and gives people a reason to rally around them. It makes the opponents seem worse than they are. And they think that this is reinforcing their control over the Strait of Hormuz, making them into a regional power player. I think they just feel like this is a war they want to stay in, and that's why they won't let President Trump quite get away from it.
Are there even negotiations for peace going on at this point?
I mean, probably there are some sort of back-channel communications. It seems like there are factions in Tehran that may want a peace more than the people who are really in charge. But it doesn't seem like now. It seems like both sides are escalating. In fact, we saw today that the Houthis, the Iranian allies in Yemen, have now said that they also want to blockade the Red Sea so that the Saudi Arabians can't get their oil out through that waterway either.
Your colleagues wrote that book, Regime Change, and it describes the lead up to this war where the president was getting pushback, warnings from different people in the administration saying this could happen, that this could turn into a quagmire. What's your sense of what the president is hearing now as we have gone now 10 days in a row with airstrikes on Iran?
It's a good question. I don't think the people who were the most skeptical of the war then, that would be Vice President Vance and Dan Kane, who is the chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff, have that much leverage to push back now. Now we're in it, right? So it'd be one thing not to get into the war in the first place, but now that we're in it, the U.S. is committed. We've lost lives, we've lost credibility, sort of staked our place in the world on our ability to finish this war on our own terms. I don't know if those folks are quite as loud as they were, because there's not now the cost that we've incurred in this war means we have to get something more on the way out. I just don't see the leverage to get that right now.
David, another thing that's getting a lot of buzz this morning is the fact President Trump is slapping a tariff on many Canadian goods. We're not talking just a little one. It's 50% tariffs. What's the purpose? What's going on here?
Yeah, this is part of he wants to return to the battles we saw last year over renegotiating trade barriers with Canada, trying to get Canada to lower some of its trade barriers. It may honestly be a little bit of a distraction, even though it's something else that's going to raise prices for people. It's Trump's return to something that he feels like was a pretty successful period of last year, where he used tariffs to threaten various countries and get various concessions. It doesn't seem very strategic at a time when we're headed toward the midterms and inflation and costs are on a lot of people's minds. But he seems to feel like this is his biggest weapon, and he can get something good out of Canada.
Let's move to Air Force One, or as Drudge is calling it, Cutter Force One. He was questioned by a reporter on a tarmac saying, where are the missile defense systems on this new Air Force One? President essentially said, yeah, we noticed that, and we're going to go get it maxed out. What is going on here?
So to take one step back, President Trump didn't like the old Air Force One, which was a few decades old. Boeing was supposed to be producing another one, and that was behind schedule. Basically just didn't think it was luxurious enough. So Qatar offers this very nice 747 that the president accepts for free and says it's going to retrofit to be a 747, to be an Air Force One. But being an Air Force One is hard. There's all kinds of anti-missile, anti-radar. It's a flying battle station, basically. And the current plane, the one from Qatar, wasn't ready. It wasn't fully decked out. It didn't have all the anti-missile capabilities, and so they flew it to Turkey for the NATO summit a couple of weeks ago. And then while they were there, when fighting with Iran picked up again, the Secret Service told Trump, don't fly in this plane because it's not as well protected. So he flies back to the U.S. on another plane and says at the time a falsehood about how, we took it to an Air Force base in London just because it's great. People want to see it. A show it to the troops. Now President Trump admits that it's not, quote unquote, maxed out. It doesn't have all the things that it should. And now he says it's going to get that sort of upgrade. Recall that the Trump administration has gone after our reporters, tried to subpoena their, bring them to a grand jury to try to get their phone records, to try to figure out who leaked this information. But now that President Trump is saying to everybody publicly, look, this plane wasn't ready.
I don't mean this as commentary of any sort, but it seems like we're asking a lot these days, what is going on here? We haven't spoken since the president's address last week. What did you make of it, and what does it mean for the midterms coming up?
It was billed as something new and different, but it wasn't. President Trump repeated a lot of the falsehoods and exaggerations that he's been making for years about the 2020 election, that there were non-citizens voting or that there was problem with voting machines. Everything that he's talked about has been investigated thoroughly and found that it did not affect the outcome of the 2020 election in any state. None of the things he talked about are new, and none of the things he talked about have been found to have any impact on the outcome of the 2020 election. It's more sour grapes from him because he lost that election. I am worried that he will use this as a pretext to try to intervene more in the midterm election if it doesn't go the way that he wants. And I hope that states that are going to be contested are ready for that. But in terms of, for your listeners, the question is, did Trump reveal anything new? Did he prove his point any better? The answer is no on both counts.
Okay, and a quick update on the reflective pool in Washington, D.C.
Again, what is going on here?
Yeah, exactly, David.
So you recall that the administration said that the reason that the pool's blue peeling is peeling up is because of vandals. Instead, yesterday we were out at the pool. We had a photographer out there who saw pieces from people from the Park Service trying to clean it up and just pulling huge sheets of it up with their bare hands. In fact, we saw it sometimes when the wind would blow, the wind would, like, flaps of the lining in the pool, which is now dry, flaps would peel up and flap in the wind. So I don't think you need a box cutter or a strong person. It seems like that peeling is peeling on its own.
Well, the conspiracy goes deep otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
David Farenthold, New York Times investigative reporter. David, we'll check in with you next week.
Thank you.
It's 8:23. That's time for a check on traffic. Every 10 minutes on the threes. Chris Sullivan, take it away.
20-minute delays getting through Issaquah, westbound I-90. 3-mile backup approaching the main off-ramp there to 17th Avenue Northwest. What we have a crash on the on-ramp there from 17th. That's the second exit as you head westbound out of Issaquah. And so it has closed the ramp, but they're still letting people access the ramp. Not sure why, and so people are having to merge over across the painted gore point really early. But the right lane they're merging into is also blocked by this crash. And so what we have is about a 3-mile backup that extends all the way well before Highlands, trying to get over there and through that. And then every road, as you would imagine, in and around that corridor is jammed up because of this. So basically, all of Issaquah on that west-hand side, right by the park, is really, really jammed up and really not moving. So if you can avoid that area for another half an hour, maybe an hour, there's a lot going on there. Other issue just popped up, northbound 405, which had been doing okay today. We're now up to 50 minutes from Renton to Bellevue. 2 lanes blocked near Coal Creek Parkway, northbound HOV lane and left general purpose lane. So basically bumper to bumper from 167 all the way through Factoria now. So that's an ugly drive. Valley Freeway trying to get better. We're back under an hour, but not by much. Still about 30 minutes out of Auburn. Federal Way to Seattle, well over an hour with 40 of those minutes from South Center, bumper to bumper for the beginning of Boeing Field all the way into downtown. And then coming in from the north end, a typical terrible Tuesday because of the Revive I-5 work and the loss of the express lanes southbound on I-5. We're bumper to bumper from 175th and Shoreline into downtown. Hour and 10-minute trip from Linwood, hour and a half all the way from Everett. Same deal for 405, brake lights from Linwood down through 522, a little bit more in Totem Lake and Kirkland. Just under an hour and a half from Everett into Bellevue. So not a pretty day. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Hot today, 90 the forecast high for Seattle, low to mid-90s tomorrow. 72 in Olympia right now. It's 74 in North Bend. Seattle, it's 67.
And coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey will have more on the heat advisory taking effect in about an hour and a half.
This is Seattle's Morning News.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear G and Ursula, weekdays 9 to noon.
NBA Commissioner Adam Silver with these little tiny tidbits of hope.
I've gotten my hopes up high with this whole Sonics thing, and I just can't do it anymore. You're not going to go out on a date with me. I've been asking. You won't even say yes or no. Mm-hmm. We can't keep doing this.
So non-committal. Kind of like those people who get into these thruples and then say they're not in a relationship.
Oh, boy.
Subscribe to the G and Ursula Show on YouTube and watch live or later.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
Thinking about a new roof or exterior upgrade, but worried about the cost? This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We've created our summertime savings event to make it simple and affordable. Save up to $3,000 off your exterior project or get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. And every qualifying GAF roof is backed by our lifetime Golden Pledge warranty. One call gets you started. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Les Schwab Tires has been proudly serving communities for over 70 years, and we've collected thousands of inspiring stories. Like Kate, who was off on a long road trip with her best friend when the dash lit up like a game show. They find the nearest Les Schwab. Turns out they really needed an oil change. It was done in a flash. Road trip saved. At Les Schwab, we're proud to keep you rolling. Les Schwab Tires. Our greatest story is yours. Stories are composites inspired by real customer feedback.
Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision. If you're at the stage where you need readers, whether you've had LASIK or not, it may be time to consider K2 Vision RLE. I tell my King LASIK patients, laser vision correction won't solve the eventual need for reading glasses due to an aging, dysfunctional lens.
But K2 Vision RLE will. It's not a question of if your lens becomes dysfunctional, it's when. At that point, you'll need reading glasses and could benefit from refractive lens exchange. K2 Vision RLE is a quick, painless procedure that restores distance and near vision permanently. In other words, no glasses, no contacts, and no readers.
And no cataracts.
Exactly. After K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
K2 Vision doctors have performed over 150,000 procedures and followed the outcomes. They have the experience to know when it's your right time for RLE. Schedule your free Zoom consult today at k2visionrle.com. K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Rev up for the biggest weekend of the summer. LeMay, America's Car Museum, presents Super Summer Weekend, and it's mostly free. Tons of events highlighted by this Friday night. Disney and Pixar's Cars Under the Stars drive-in movie. Then Saturday, Carson Coffee Show with Family Steam Day, featuring Super Highway 71's incredible custom-built car tracks, live demos, and hands-on fun for all ages. Don't miss it. One epic weekend. Visit americascarmuseum.org.
George Thorogood and the Destroyers, the baddest show on earth, with the Robert Cray Band. August 6th, the Tulalip Amphitheater. Don't get tickets on sale now at Tulalip and Quilcena One Club Desks or Ticketmaster.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 8:30. Well, today and tomorrow could be the hottest days of the year in the Seattle area, with temperatures expected to pass 90 degrees.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is live with more on what to expect.
You all ready for this? Well, I'm not going to play the music, but I'm just talking about the heat advisory that goes into effect in about an hour and a half from now at 10 a.m. and it's going to last through Wednesday at 11 p.m. The National Weather Service says we can expect temps about 90 degrees today in the Seattle area. Tomorrow, projecting 92 degrees at SeaTac Airport, which is kind of where they measure the baseline temperatures. Some reminders from the National Weather Service forecaster Jacob DeFlitch for you.
It's going to remain important to drink a lot of fluids. Stay in air-conditioned rooms as much as you can, and staying out of the sun, and also checking up on your neighbors and relatives during this period, because this is going to be a hot stretch coming up for us.
Yeah, it really is, because our westerly winds, our nature's air conditioner, has died down for the next couple of days, and that's why we have this heat wave. The winds will come back Wednesday night, though. Phil Swatson, Juber, excuse me, I butchered your name, with the Puget Sound Clean Energy Agency, says that we could also see some wildfire smoke from British Columbia creeping into the region, but it won't be anywhere near those unhealthy levels we've seen in Spokane lately. I've heard horror stories about the smoke out there and parts of the eastern part of the country as well.
Right now, this is looking like a moderate event, so healthy adults should be able to go out and enjoy their day. If the conditions change, we will update our forecast, but right now it's looking to be in the moderate range.
Yeah, you might smell smoke, but it may not be that bad. It might make for some pretty sunsets as well. Again, though, hydrate, wear sunscreen. Do not exercise outdoors in the height of the afternoon, or Amanda, you don't have to do it at all.
Thank you.
Don't leave kids or pets in parked cars. Do not do that, please. And check on your older family members and your neighbors especially. So I came up with some theme music for all of you.
Okay.
Charlie, here's your hot weather song that's going to get you through the next 2 days.
I said it's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes.
Nobody wants that. Don't encourage that.
What? Maybe in the privacy of your own home. Amanda, I mean, you're tough. You're cool enough already. So maybe something like a little Smash Mouth? May as well be walking on the sun in the next 2 days, right? And Sully, man, you love The Rock. Maybe a little Foreigner?
Yeah, I'm down.
Hot-blooded.
Yeah, hot weather gives me double vision.
Hey, we're playing all the hits.
I see what you did
Seattle's
there.
morning news. Hot-blooded. Normal high is 78. It's not going to be 78. It's going to be in the 90s.
In answer to your question, no, I'm not ready. But thank you for asking.
Well, it's coming. They won't be that bad.
Luke Ducey reporting live. Sully, we need to check traffic.
Now I'm just thinking about you on the patio later, Charlie.
Yeah, well.
And really not in a good way. Thank you, Luke. Some positive news for those of you stuck in this 20-minute backup on westbound I-90 getting into and through Esquimalt. We have reopened the ramp there at 17th and reopened the far right lane there. So this backup should be going away. Just going to take a while. It's about 3 miles now. And then every other road in and around Esquimalt is really kind of caught up in this. So plan on big-time delays until this clears out. We've also cleared the crash on northbound 405 at Coal Creek Parkway that had 2 lanes blocked. Damage done, though. We're backed up all the way into Renton, 50 minutes plus to go from Renton to Bellevue. That's about a 15-minute delay. The good news is the Valley Freeway is cleared out. We're back under 45 minutes, maybe closer to 40, which is really good. Federal Way to Seattle still has the brake lights at the north end part of Boeing Field into downtown, still hovering just under an hour from Federal Way to Seattle. An hour and 20-minute plus from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue as we deal with another typical Tuesday with our Revive I-5 work. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial, 97.3 HD2.
Again, it's going to be hot for today. It's just a 2-day thing. Today and tomorrow, 90 today, 93 tomorrow, and then Thursday will cool off to 79 or so with a few showers a possibility. Maybe some thunder showers again as we transition to some nicer weather for the weekend. Friday, look for clouds in the morning, sunshine in the afternoon, and 78. Right now in Seattle, it's sunny and 65.
Bringing you Seattle's morning news since 1974, this is KIRO Newsradio.
It's a big week for Chinese technology as two powerful AI models are debuting in Beijing.
This is just the latest in the battle between the U.S. and China over AI development. With the latest, we bring in ABC News technology reporter Mike Dubusky, who joins us every Tuesday for Tech Tuesday. Can you break this down for us, Mike?
Yeah, sure. So there's two models that are kind of at the center of this story, guys. The first one debuted on Friday. It comes from a Chinese tech firm known as Moonshot AI. They're calling the model Kimi K3. And they claim that in their own testing, this model is better than nearly all American AI models when it comes to its sort of overall performance on benchmark tests. That's the sort of generally objective way that we use to evaluate the relative strength of one AI model versus another. And we're talking about, this being competitive with the best models from OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, and everyone else. And then over the weekend, another model hit the scene. This one comes from Alibaba. It's called Qwen 3.8. Again, thought to be this super advanced AI model that can go toe-to-toe with the best that America has to offer. I mentioned those benchmark tests, guys. Again, it's like an SAT test for your AI model. It tests everything from math and science to literature to your ability to synthesize information. It's the same thing with AI models, right? It's meant to kind of evaluate the comprehensive so-called intelligence of these technologies. We don't know the specific scores that Moonshot or Alibaba got on these tests. We are expecting to learn them pretty soon. However, Moonshot says they plan to release Kimi's score on July 27th next week. Alibaba says that they're going to release theirs soon. We don't know specifically when. And they are hedging a little bit. Both companies say that their respective AI models are better than most of what the American AI companies have cooked up. They're not better than the best. For example, both Chinese firms say that a model from Anthropic called Fable 5 is likely to score better than them on these benchmark tests. Even still, this has riled Silicon Valley in a pretty big way, that the Chinese race is maybe a little bit closer than they were anticipating.
What are some of the implications if this is a non-American company or companies that are starting to make some progress here?
I mean, you've heard from Silicon Valley leaders like Sam Altman and others use the potential threat of China as a means by which to argue for looser regulatory environments in the US. This idea that this technology is going to be transformative. It's going to usher in the next technological revolution. Whether you believe that is a sort of different discussion, but that is certainly the argument that has been made by people who are pro-AI in Silicon Valley and used pretty successfully to convince the Trump administration to loosen some of the restrictions around how quickly this technology is developed, because we're in a race with China. We want to own the next technological revolution, and we can only do that if we allow these tech companies to develop things very quickly. Of course, the argument against that would be that this technology is potentially very dangerous as well, and that developing it too quickly may lead to all sorts of crises of disinformation, misinformation, the potential for this to be used for developing horrible outcomes, right? Whether it be weapons or bioterrorist sort of goals and that sort of thing. That is sort of the argument that has played out in the tech space over how to regulate this, right? And the argument against regulation has always been like there's the specter of China. To a degree, we've also seen the Trump administration in recent years pass export controls over AI chips, right? The stuff that NVIDIA makes, to make sure that the United States gets the most powerful of those chips, right? That NVIDIA can't ship its most powerful stuff over to China. We want to keep that for ourselves in order to, continue to develop the best technology. Given what we're learning out of China in recent days, though, it seems like those export controls didn't do a lot. It seems like, again, this race is a lot closer than it used to be.
All right. That is ABC tech reporter Mike Dubusky.
It's 8:39. Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we're going to continue to look at the 20-minute delay getting into and through the Issaquah area, and we have a new crash at Woodinville. We'll break it all down next.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO. News Radio 97.3 FM.
It is summertime, which means sunshine, baseball games, beach trips, hiking, fun with the family. And Brad, I'll bet it's easier to pay for with free checking from WaFd Bank.
That's right, Dave. Set your financial goals and stick to them with free checking. No minimum balances or monthly maintenance fees to worry about. Hey, you'll also get spending tools to help you stay on top of your budget. Not only is WaFd Bank rated the best bank, we have more than 200 branches to serve you across 9 western states.
And tell me more about this card control feature I've heard so much about.
Dave, you can view transactions for individual cards, set controls and alerts, and if you forget your card at the restaurant, you can instantly turn it off while you go back to get it. You'll also have access to free tools like Zelle, mobile check deposit, and when those unfortunate times happen, submit fraud disputes right inside the WaFd mobile app.
And don't forget, you can choose from some great-looking debit cards, including Seattle Kraken and Seattle Seawolves cards. So visit WaFdBank.com and open your account today. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply. Member FDIC.
The Boeing Classic welcomes the world's greatest golf legends to the Pacific Northwest, August 14th through the 16th at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge. Watch Masters champions and Golf Hall of Famers compete for a $2.3 million purse at the only PGA Tour champion stop in the region. Bring the whole family and make sure to check out the Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit BoeingClassic.com to get yours today.
Jane Dawson did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With the money she saved, she got herself a pricey bird feeder with an ultra-high-def camera. Should Jane have just bought a regular bird feeder? Yes. Is it hard for her to admire nature when the camera doubles as the bird's potty? Also, yes. But it's Jane's savings, and if she wants to spend her time watching the digestive habits of the white-breasted nuthatch, we say you go, girl. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
8:43 now. Chris Sullivan has traffic on the 3s.
Well, we're going to take a while before we clear out this 3-mile backup on westbound I-90. For a while, we had the on-ramp at 17th Northwest closed and the right lane blocked for a pretty nasty crash. All of that has reopened. The problem is you create a 3-mile backup through that really narrow construction zone, and it's just going to take a while to recover. Right now, it's still about a 20-minute delay, backed up well before the Highlands Drive area all the way through, and then all the roads in and around downtown Issaquah are kind of caught up in this in one way, shape, or form. So if you can avoid that area for the next little bit, you will save yourself a ton of time. Northbound 405 still struggling at an hour. That is a 15-minute delay. We had an earlier crash up by the Coal Creek Parkway area, which has cleared. I'm also looking to see if we might have a new one right there at the VMAC. Surprisingly, or not really, through a construction zone again. Behind that, through the Valley Freeway, we're doing pretty good. We're back down to about 40 minutes from Puyallup to Renton. Federal Way to Seattle still hovering about an hour, with 35 of those minutes from South Center, maybe a little bit more, bumper to bumper from the beginning of Boeing Field all the way up past I-90. The Lake Bridges, though, are fine. Coming down from the north end, boy, it is ugly. It's an hour and a half, an hour and 40 now from Everett into Seattle, with an hour and 20 of that away from Linwood. 30-minute delay, and this is all because of the loss of the express lanes in the morning. We're bumper to bumper from before 145th all the way into downtown. People taking 99 caught up in this as well, backed up from about 85th now all the way through Green Lake and down into South Lake Union. So 99 southbound, not a good day. 405 coming the direction out of Linwood, much faster, but still pretty ugly. Hour and 5-minute trip from Linwood, hour and 25 all the way. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
And our forecast, heat advisories kicking in at 10 o'clock this morning. Hazy and hot, 94 today, 93 tomorrow. Those overnight lows will be in the mid-60s. And then a big change on Thursday. We'll stay right around 79 with a threat of some showers, maybe even thunder showers again. But then Friday drying out, very nice. Clouds in the morning, sunny in the afternoon, and 78. Right now in Seattle, it's 65.
Coming up, G. Scott stops by the show. We're hearing about a new effect of Seattle's World Cup matches. Single Seattleites finding love along the pitch. G will weigh in coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
When Dennis suggested retirement planning to his wife, Linda, she had the same reaction lots of people do.
We really need it.
Then they attended a free seminar with elder law attorney Rajiv Nagayich at LifePoint Law.
He asked me, what do you want? And he truly listened. And at the end of it, it was like, we need to do this.
There are many people on the radio that speak about many things. And when we got here and actually worked with the team that Rajiv has put together, it turns out that it is not just talk, it is action.
And in the worst case?
I said to him, if something happens to Dennis, what would I do exactly? And he said, you pick up the phone and you call Rajiv or you call me. And that right there was like peace of mind.
Register for a free LifePoint Law retirement planning seminar in Federal Way on August 1st, Puyallup on the 4th, Tacoma on the 6th, or Bellevue August 8th. Space is limited, so sign up today at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime on mynorthwest.com.
One of those segments, I have no idea where this is headed.
Never.
But that's fine because he's from the G and Ursula show.
Yeah.
9 to noon on KIRO Newsradio. Of course, the host of the Reset podcast, G. Scott.
Hey, good morning, y'all.
Good morning.
So, we have found a way to thaw the Seattle freeze.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Which I don't believe exists.
Yeah. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So I was reading up, shout out to the Seattle Times. I was reading up on the Seattle Times, and according to a new survey, Seattle singles, this doesn't apply if you're not single. Seattle singles said the World Cup made dating in the city more fun than any other U.S. host city. Suddenly they're saying that people are smiling, talking to strangers, and actually making contact. Now, here's what it tells me. Seattle doesn't have a dating problem. Seattle has an energy problem, right? And I think the World Cup coming into town made people be like, wow, I'm having fun. Well, except for the people that said, oh, the World Cup's going to be terrible for Seattle. Those people don't have fun. But as far as everything else, the people that have fun that were down there, they were like, wow, phones were in their pocket. They were actually saying hello to people.
That's nice.
And so they're excited. People laughing. They have good stories. Notice how a lot of people have been talking about the watch parties and everything that was going on downtown. So the thing is the international visitors that were here, a lot of them left thinking I met my soulmate in Seattle. And the people left here in Seattle said, oh, wow, I should have asked for their phone number before they left. Either way, there's been some good vibes and conversations about for singles here in the dating scene during the World Cup.
Well, you say energy problem. I want to one-up you. Okay. Solar energy problem. Because the sun is out now. Yeah. People are actually happy to be out. Yeah. You know, a lot of time when it's gray and it's miserable, you don't want to be outside talking to people.
You know what, Sully? Excuse me. You know what?
What's your name again?
I called him Sully. It's not like I called him another news platform.
Who would do such a thing?
It's called that one. That was pretty fast. Charlie, you're absolutely right. You're right about the sun and the energy. So, okay, how about this? While you're right on that, the sun, we also need things to do. So I hope the city of Seattle has more activation things happening in different spots to make people go and do that. When the football season is coming, and make it to where there's more watch parties and things like that in Pacific Place, and that'd be great.
I got to tell you, Pacific Place blew my mind because that's where I shop. I live in Seattle.
Right.
And so when I go shopping, I go there, and sometimes I'll go in there and not pass a soul.
I know.
Right? And to see that place filled was just so exciting.
Now, man, before you kick me out, I'm going to give you a reason to kick me out today. Let's talk about, let's do that. Let's talk about the Seattle freeze that you said it does not exist. Here's why it actually does.
Okay.
It does exist because when I first moved out here to the Pacific Northwest, and actually I'm still here, been here 27 years, it blows my mind that you can walk past someone that's a stranger and not say hello or any type of acknowledgement.
See, I find that odd because I get in trouble for talking to everybody. I say hello to anyone I pass on the street.
Why do you
I
think
talk to people in the grocery store and get held up
I believe
for
that,
20
but
minutes.
why do you think people have such a hard time? Like they're entering into some social contract to just say hello.
I don't have any answers for you. That's not my experience.
Oh.
I think it's young people. As a young person,
no, it ain't just y'all. It's X and boomers in them too.
What I notice is the young people walking around the city. They got their phones out. They got their headphones in. Oh, yeah. When you got your headphones in, you don't want to interact with anyone.
And they got a vape in their hand. The amount of people that just walk around vaping is wild. Why don't you just light up a cigarette, bro?
I have a favor, David. If you could do me a solid. In that segment, G said, Charlie, you're absolutely right. I'm hoping you can
isolate that.
Has that ever happened before?
Wait, it used to a lot. It used to happen a lot. You got that one, Charlie. You got that one.
All right.
I'm getting kicked out?
You may be excused.
That's the Seattle freeze I'm talking about.
Get out.
G and Ursula coming up 9 to noon, probably. We check in with Sully now with traffic on the 3s.
Well, still working with about a 15-minute delay on westbound I-90 as you work your way through Issaquah because of a long-term crash that we had right there at 17th Ave Northwest. Still have about a 2.5-mile backup. We're getting better, but it's just going to take some time as we work our way through there. It was right there through the construction zone, and so that just left a mark, and we're stuck. We are definitely seeing an improvement on northbound 405 now that the crash we had near Coal Creek Parkway is gone, and whatever we had by 44th is gone as well. So we're back down to about 50 minutes from Renton to Bellevue, still about 5 to 8 minutes behind schedule. Good news is Valley Freeway behind that, really good. Puyallup to Renton's 40 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle back under an hour, not by much, maybe a couple of minutes. Still bumper to bumper from the beginnings of Boeing Field past the West Seattle Bridge. West Seattle Bridge also bumper to bumper away from the junction, so plan on some delays eastbound there. Coming down from the north end, we've picked up about 10 minutes, but boy, it's still awful. Hour and a half from Everett down into Seattle, with an hour and 10 of that just from Linwood. Bumper to bumper from 145th all the way down. Avoid 99 if you can. It's backed up from 85th past Green Lake all the way into South Lake Union. That is an ugly day. Coming down from Linwood on 405. A little bit better, about an hour now from Linwood to Bellevue and an hour and 20 all the way from Everett. So not exactly a great day there. And let's see if we've cleared the crash up there. Yeah, we've cleared the crash in Woodinville by Woodinville High School, westbound 522 there right at 195th. This report brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. AC not working? Don't assume the worst. Home Comfort Alliance repairs first, only replaces if needed. Get a real quote, 60 seconds, homecomfortalliance.com.
Need the AC today. It's hazy and hot for the next 2 days. 90 today, 93 tomorrow, and then we'll cool off to 79 on Thursday. Right now it's 65 in Seattle.
Coming up on the G and Ursula Show, the conversation you should be having with your teen, and you probably haven't had it yet. They'll talk about it next on KIRO News Radio.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Hey, Albert, can you help us plan and budget for a bathroom renovation?
I certainly can. Let me review your finances.
Who are you talking to?
Albert, my AI financial assistant that I can access right in the app. It automates all things finance, moves money, pays bills, creates personalized alerts, finds savings, and so much more. Your bathroom renovation financial plan is ready. I found cash you can put aside, and to cover the rest, Albert can get you up to $10,000 fast. Can you find contractors nearby within our budget? Here's a list of contractors. Would you like help requesting a $10,000 loan for your bathroom renovation?
Yes! Download the Albert app and use promo code MULTIPLY to access Genius. Plus, get up to $10,000 for whatever you need. Just download the Albert app right now and use promo code MULTIPLY to get up to $10,000. That's promo code MULTIPLY.
Les Schwab Tires has always believed that taking care of people is the right thing to do. Today, that means more than trusted service. It means delivering real value, too. That's why we're lowering prices on hundreds of tires without changing the service and expertise you've always counted on. Consumer Reports named Les Schwab the best tire retailer for 2026. We'll keep working every day to earn your trust. See leschwab.com for details.
Dr. Mark Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures, including mine, at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. And we've interviewed over 100 of Dr. Wagner's patients, and we hear the same things. It changed my life. I'm back to doing the activities I love without pain. It really works. It's remarkable.
We love helping people get back to living life to the fullest and doing the things they enjoy most.
They also must really enjoy not having the pain and recovery time with surgery.
Stem cell therapy is a 60-minute non-surgical, minimally invasive procedure to eliminate pain, regenerate cartilage, treat tendon and ligament tears, osteoarthritis, and chronic tendinitis.
And you only use the patient's own stem cells.
That's right, their body's own stem cells.
So whether it's a hip like me, an elbow, shoulder, or knee.
Don't forget ankles, wrists, and thumbs.
Yep, those patients too. Before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD first. Learn more at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Jane is a small business owner.
That's right.
And tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect. Plus gig speeds with security and equipment included. All with a 5-year price lock.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
Exactly. The Total Solutions Advantage. Get started for just $60 a month for 12 months when you add wireless connect to a qualifying internet package. No one does business like Comcast Business.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
50 legends. One unforgettable night. Join the Mariners at T-Mobile Park on Saturday, August 8th for 50 season celebration night presented by Daktronics.
A perfect game by a Seattle Mariner. It was done by the King.
Arrive early to witness an epic pregame ceremony featuring the biggest gathering of franchise icons ever assembled.
Junior with a 2-run home run. Everybody is going bonkers.
Seats are going fast. Get yours at mariners.com/tickets.
Hartley here from Wilcox Farms. For over 100 years, we